We are here, right here at twitch.tv/capitals for our second tournament, the Xbox Series X/S tournament of the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge, presented by McDonald's, DMV, and our friends, powered by Rival Games. Hello, my name is Brandon Bixby, also known as B Major, and the man to my right needs a little introduction. Tegan Blair, better known to you as King Lion. And Limer, firstly, how are you doing? I know you're a big threes guy. We got a lot of great teams today, a lot of great games to go through. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Brandon, playing, calling threes. I'm a huge threes guy. You definitely hit the nail on the head, and I'm more than excited to cast some teams here. We've got a lot of very high-end talent in here, as we're going to see teams like Instinct. We're going to see teams like Prodigy. Some of those sixes teams that have gone down into threes to really carry this on to make it a great challenge here today.
Yeah, you said it there, Tegan. A lot of big names here in this tournament. A few teams trying to maybe make a name for themselves here, as well as we going through our first 3 rounds today, and then our semifinals and finals tomorrow, as this will be a $1,500 prize pool in total for first and second place, the 2 teams that do reach the finals. And it's going to be a lot of fun here, as we mentioned, Tegan. A lot of great teams, a lot of names we know. It should be interesting to maybe see if it's going to be some of our usual suspects, or maybe if there is that surprise team that some people in the community aren't all that familiar with.
There could be a couple surprise teams here, Brandon, but we're going to find out who's going to be eating here today. And you could be eating as well this weekend, guys. Be sure to grab yourself a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries for just $9.99 in the McDonald's app. This offer is only valid throughout the duration of the Threes Challenge, being this weekend, April 23rd and 24th, at participating McDonald's throughout DC, Baltimore, and Eastern Shore areas. Thank you again to our amazing sponsor, McDonald's DMV, Brandon.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see that. And, you know, it's always fun to see when sponsors are sponsoring events like these. So, as you mentioned, a big thanks to our friends at McDonald's Gaming DMV. And, you know, not only are we going to see some winners today, but we're going to see some winners in our chat as well here at some point, aren't we? It's going to be a lot of fun throughout the duration of this cast.
That's right, Brandon. And maybe you'll be using a nice Scuff controllers. The Caps gaming team will be giving away 2 brand new Scuff controllers throughout today's stream, guys. All you need to do is enter and type !giveaway in the chat here at Twitch TV/Capitals, and we'll announce today's winners later in the show.
Yeah, so make sure everyone sticks around for that, as I have to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind a Scuff controller myself. Going to be 2 lucky winners, so make sure you enter that giveaway, stick around to hear your name called. You might just be that lucky winner. But we've got some games ready to go here, Tegan. Looks like Instinct, one of the more known teams like Sixes, entering our threes tournament here today. They're going to be playing here. It looks like we're going to get set up with them. That could be maybe a team to watch out for.
It definitely is going to be, Brandon, as this is going to be a round 1 matchup, as we're seeing some teams in round 2, some teams in round 1. A couple of teams getting buys because of the amount of teams in this tournament, but very good matchup as we dive into Instinct versus TB8.
Yeah, and THB, a team that's also well known, otherwise known as the Helmet Boys. So going to be fun to see these 2 teams going from 6s to 3s, as it's the Helmet Boys with the puck moving down on a breakaway. Couldn't get it off in time. And Instinct will try to move it down the other direction. Flying up the right boards there. Puck finds its way over down low. As it is upped over and taken out, and puck is loose. Josh is going to have to cover that one up quick. Is going to be interesting as well, Tegan, because something we always talk about with threes is the rapid pace of play between 2 teams that have a lot of skill.
Yeah, and there's so much ice out there, Brandon. Something I really love about threes. It more becomes no defenseman on the ice. It's 3 forwards. The good teams get a rotation down low. They use everybody on the ice. Watch here for both of these teams to do that today.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see kind of how that affects, as this is Instinct coming up the ice now. It'll be moved up quickly. 1-0 THB. A little bit over halfway through the first period as Naslund takes it up. Passes it over, tries to pass it back over to McClutch, who circles back over to the blue line. A little bit of pressure, trying to find an option. And it triplets its way over to the bottom corner to Naslund. Puck battle scrummed up, back over to McClutch at the point, over to Naslin, passed across. Naslin back with it, doesn't get a shot on net there. Now Instinct will try to counter. They'll go quick. Nice pass back there, Morin with it. Cycles it down low. This is Gergs, back over to Morin. Morin shot on net at an odd angle, and Josh had to be sharp on that one, but he makes the save.
Any shot's a good shot here, Brandon, especially in a tight game. The Helmet Boys, a very, very good team, already leading 1-0. Instinct's going to need to put absolutely everything on net as much as they can. Look for those cut plays on the right-hand side as they like to get movement as they cook up here.
It's a shot on net there. It goes wide. Naslin will pick it up for THB. Trying to go quick. 2-on-2. Didn't have the numbers. Passes it down low, and it'll be passed back around to the boards. Naslin battling Moran. Moran will take it up. 2-on-1, Moran with it, looks, backhand, puts it in past Josh, and he scores. Instinct ties it up late in the first, 1-1 apiece.
Just like that, Brandon, we've got ourselves a big goal for Instinct, and great timing for them to come in and get one here as they tie it here late in the first.
So a big unassisted goal by Moran to tie this thing up for Instinct. As THB looking for a quick answer. That's Naslin with it, takes the hit. Couldn't find anything, and it looks like Instinct will go ahead and take their tie game into the second period. 1-1 after the tying goal from Moran with 38 seconds to go.
Moran using quite a big build. We're going to see that a lot today. We see the truculence come out. Usually you get to see one big build, two small builds. You run into a little bit of speed with a little bit of aggression here, Brandon, and it seems to be working as Moran not only has 8 hits in the first period, Brandon, he's also got the goal to boot for Instinct.
Yeah, and it's important to be able to kind of have that in your team, to be able to have a guy that can throw the body around a little bit when you have some of these smaller players that more or less try to use that speed advantage. Important to kind of be able to have a guy that can use that body, especially on the boards.
Looks like he might be using a scuff controller here, Brandon, as he's holding on to that thing tight. 8 big hits with the truculence here, and I think we'll see a lot more of teams using those big builds with a mix-in of small builds. You don't really see all 3 small builds in threes because you end up getting run over like Moran is doing there.
Yeah, absolutely. As we come back into the studio, we'll probably hear more from that game here as that one continues to develop. A round 1 game between THB and Instinct this week. Look like we might get some King of the Rink action as well as insult to injury here in just a few minutes as we get things prepared for that game. But Tegan, we kind of talked about it. 20 teams entered in this tournament. A few teams that are rather well known, such as THB, such as Instinct, Composure, another name. But there's also a few teams, like we said, that aren't as well known. And it's kind of interesting to see who is going to be able to prevail when you have such a wide tournament, a variety of talent that we're going to be seeing today.
Yeah, and even a mix in as we see Shekel coming in and jumping in here as well in a different position with insult to injury as we've come into that game here, Brandon.
Yeah, as we get into that King of the Rink game, and this is going to be an interesting one as well. King of the Rink, a team with a lot of talent. This is a round 1 matchup once again. As looks like we're going to enter the end of the period here with a 2-1 score, and you know, game 1 of a best of 3, it kind of is that swing game. It might be early, but this can very well control the way which way the series is going to sway.
Yeah, and how about the players in this game? You have Augie, Shekel, you've got Nuge, Cosmic, OF. You know, there's just a lot of high-skilled players in this, and it's great to see a mix into the 6s, the 1s, everybody coming out here for the Caps Gaming 3 showcase.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting, at least to me, about this matchup is that you kind of get a little bit of a mix between guys that do it in really every mode. 6s, 3s, even some 1s. You see a guy like Nuge that does it in all 3. HK, Cosmic, as you mentioned, and you get some of your traditional 6s guys on the other side. Sweet Lou, Shekel, Augie. So it's going to be interesting to see a lot of well-known talent, a lot of very experienced talent kind of play against one another here in this shape.
Yeah, as we'll dive into, I believe, period number 2, and it looks like there is a 2-0 lead here on the other side. Take it away, Brandon.
Yeah, King of the Rink up 2-0 here in this round 1 matchup between them and Insult to Injury as they will look to work the puck up. This is Nuge with it for King of the Rink. We all know he's dangerous with the puck on his stick as he works it around the board. Takes a big hit there as Huff will take it up here for insult to injury. They could use one. Stops, goes, tries to pass it there in the middle. Couldn't find anything. And the puck goes away, and Wingles in net will cover that one up and let it stop play.
Good puck movement there as it gets moved around by insult to injury. As we'll look for a face-off play here. One thing that does help out massively here in threes is those face-off plays, Brandon, is you can catch the defender standing still.
Absolutely. So Augie gives it over to Huff. Huff tries to put it on net, but a save by Wingles. Tried to look out in front. Nobody home. And it'll be turned over and sent right back to the neutral zone as Augie is with it under all types of duress from King of the Rink. And they'll finally be able to settle it down. Works it back up to Augie, tries to move it his way past. Puck goes down low. Finds its way over to, I believe that's Nuge, and it goes upward. King of the Ring, moving down. Trying to find an option. Cosmic looking. Gives it up to Crispy. Turned over and finds his way up to Huff. Huff trying to beat him with his speed. Goes back to Augie. Augie back over. Couldn't find an option there, and it will be reset here. King of the Rink looking good defensively so far as we reach the halfway mark of the third, up by 2.
What a great pass up the middle, and that opens up a lot of ice here. But this is two very good teams going neck and neck. And is it ever tight, Brandon, as we get a 2-on-1 here with a great save?
Big save there, and that was exactly what they needed to keep this thing going as Huff taking it up. Insult to injury, looking to try to cut this deficit in half. Next goal is huge for either of these two sides. As the puck finds its way over to the bottom right corner, and Augie will move it up. 7 minutes to go. King of the Rink up by 2 in this game 1 of this round 1 matchup.
You don't usually see more than one goal go past Shekel as a couple here, and we're getting close to the end of the third period. We're going to need some cut plays. We're going to need some pucks on net from insult to injury here, Brandon.
Absolutely, 5 minutes to go, and here comes the home team of King of the Rink trying to drain some time, but take a goal and a shot on net, but a big save from Shekel. He'll play it out.
Great save by Shekel and good puck movement as well, and that's exactly what they need. Maybe get a bit of momentum here, Brandon.
Yeah, I'll get the point. Gives over to Huff. Shot on down the backhand, but Wingles comes up with a big save of his own, and he'll hold on to it with 2:23 to go.
The best thing about the defense here for King of the Rink, Brandon, is they just make it very easy for Wingles to make saves. You know, a very routine glove save for Wingles, and with 2 minutes to go, they're still killing it.
Absolutely, it's King of the Ring working the puck up, turned over. Augie gets it. Insult to injury, needs something. Oh, tried to get it over to Huff there with Sweet Lou, but he couldn't find him. Turned over, finds his way over to Cosmic. Cosmic tries to work it back over, but Huff steals it. Tries to find Sweet Lou on the pass, but a little bit antsy there, and it's going to be offsides and a timeout taken from insult to injury with 50 seconds to go.
And probably a smart timeout, Brandon. And goals come aplenty in threes. So, 50 seconds left. Most people looking at this thinking, oh, it's 50 seconds. The game is over. But that's just not the case, is it, Brandon? Threes is just, you can have 2 goals within 30 seconds. You could see insult to injury come back and actually win this game in the last 50 seconds. So we'll get right back into it here and see what they have.
Yeah, and I think that attests to some of that time and space that you get in threes compared to what you don't get in sixes. It's kind of interesting because in most situations when you're playing sixes, it's 2 goals. You feel comfortable with 50 seconds left, but plenty palpable here for insult to injury if they can get some chances as the face-off is going to be won by King of the Rink. Nuge going to move it up the ice, turned over. Looks like couldn't get that puck pickup. Insult to injury trying to pressure a little bit here, so they're going to pull the goalie. This is Shekel coming out to play forward. And King of the Rink couldn't get it out. Passed over in front, and he scores! A beautiful cross crease. Sweet Lou over to Huff, and here we are, Tegan. You just said it. 33 seconds to go, and the lead is cut down to 1.
And just like that, and then you have Shekel coming out of the back end, and what a pass that was backdoor, Brandon. 2-on-1 routine play. Goaltender has to respect the shooter with the talent that's on the ice here, and it's just a backdoor goal as we get another one in, and Wingles has to hold on. But one thing I wanted to touch on, Brandon, is having Shekel come out of the goal. Shekel's also a very good forward, so that could help as we just get an update. The Helmet Boys just went ahead 3-1 versus Instinct with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the period.
Shekel is pulled out. He is to the left side of your screen. King of the Rink does win that faceoff. Nice poke check there from Sweet Lou. Great defense there from Insult to Injury to avoid the empty netter. 17 seconds ago, trying to find something. Huff with it. Back over to Augie. Tries to put it in front. Couldn't connect. Shekel in the puck battle goes to Lou. Lou to Augie. Shot on that big save by Wingles. Puck is loose. 5 seconds to go. Picked up. And King of the Rink is going to hold on to the puck and hold on to the win as well. Insult to Injury, comeback effort falls short. A 2-1 victory for King of the Rink, and they take the early series lead 1-0.
And only 4 shots, Brandon, in that game by King of the Rink. They score on 2 of them, 11 shots for Insult to Injury, and that's just the game in threes. It is quality over quantity. It doesn't matter how many pucks you put on net. It matters when they go in the back of the net. You need to make that perfect pass. It's not about ripping them from the point. And, we saw that on that 2-on-1 from Insult to Injury. They need to build on that as they go down in this best of 3 series, 1-0.
Yeah, which means that Insult to Injury in a must-win situation in this game too, but you have to figure they feel pretty solid about the way they played, especially in that third period. Got some good opportunities, applied some pressure, just were not able to find the goals enough to get that victory, as we will be getting a couple of other series and matchups soon as we move over to our other matchup that we were covering earlier, Instinct and THB. THB up 3-2. Instinct found a goal while we were covering the end of that King of the Rink victory, so a little bit of time left to go, and THB looking to hold on here this win over Instinct.
Hopefully they can here. Is a 3-2 game, 2-on-1. Take it away, Brandon.
Yeah, 2-on-1. Big breakaway save there. McClutch couldn't bury it home on the backhand. And with less than a minute to go, Instinct moves up the ice to try to find the tying goal. Moran with it. He had the first goal of this game for Instinct. As Naslin trying to find something up, he'll just take his time. Looked like he thought about maybe doing an Omaha play, but thought otherwise. McClutch with it. Works it around the boards. He'll give chase a beautiful chop there, but it doesn't find its intended target. Moran moving it up. 30 seconds to go now for Instinct. Needing an answer. Gergs trying to find an option. Stopped at the boards there to turn over in a potential breakaway. McClutch with it. He has the numbers. Looks for the pass. Nice patient play, but couldn't put it on. Shot went wide. Moran with it. Maybe the last chance for Instinct. Shot on that goes wide again. Clutch with it at the left corner. Gets hit on the boards. Gergs with it now at the point. 7 seconds ago. Shot on net. Blocked in front there. Moran with it. 3 seconds. Need a shot for Instinct. Shot. Another big save. And that will do it. THB take home game 1 over Instinct despite the late push and win this one 3-2.
They deserve to win that game, Brandon, hands down. How about that puck movement that we saw on the breakout there by the Helmet Boys? You notice how they move it around behind the net, back and forth until they find themselves an opening. Threes is a possession game. It's not about getting down to the other end quickly. It's about moving down together as a team, and they get that win as a team.
Yeah, and you kind of saw that there, especially with a few of the last chances that you saw THB kind of get. They had the breakaway they weren't able to really take advantage of, and then the 2-on-1 that it was a nice little patient play. You saw McClutch kind of wait for Sky, but unfortunately just went a little bit wide. But the 3 goals they got were enough to hold on. So a big win for THB. We'll see if Instinct can maybe come back and answer the bell in game 2 to keep their tournament hopes alive, as we look to move forward to another matchup here soon. It'll be Kingdom in LEH once we get things ready to go, but not a lot of time spent and already a lot of action here, Tegan, between both of those 2 matchups, that with some teams that we're pretty familiar with on the Sixes side as well.
Absolutely. Brandon was talking a little about ringing that bell, and if you're getting a little hungry and you want to ring that dinner bell, let me tell you, be sure to grab yourself a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries for only $9.99 in the McDonald's app. The offer is only valid throughout the duration of the Threes Challenge, guys, so that's this weekend, April 23rd to 24th, at your participating McDonald's throughout DC, Baltimore, and Eastern Shore areas. Thank you again to the amazing sponsor here, McDonald's DMV.
Absolutely, and that's not the only amazing partnership that we have going. Is not only do our amazing partners at McDonald's Gaming DMV get to put themselves with us here with this amazing tournament and everyone at Caps Gaming, but also we were generous enough to have Scuff Gaming with a giveaway, so make sure that you stick around for that exclamation point giveaway here in the chat. We will be giving 2 controllers away here today, so exclamation point giveaway and the chat. Make sure you are here and active to claim. But, enough about the future. How about the now? 4 games going on at once right here on your screen, and a lot of action is what we talked about. A lot of action is what we're going to get right here. Isn't that right?
That is absolutely correct, Brandon. Top left-hand corner of your screen, you're seeing the Insult to Injury and King of the Rank game as they're getting themselves underway. You see the top right-hand corner, Instinct, still waiting for their second matchup as their backs are against the walls against the Helmet Boys. As you pop down to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, we have a Lay that is in a tight matchup, and they're actually up 1-0 here, Brandon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, especially against a team in Kingdom that is pretty well known, plays a lot of threes, has had some success in this venue. So it's going to be interesting if maybe they're a team that could go in and make a run, but got to get past LEH first. We'll see if they can do it. As a turnover there, Kingdom trying to get a chance, backhand, forehand, could not go through. As it looks like top left, we might have a penalty shot that was stopped there.
Great save on that penalty shot, Brandon. I was just looking for some of the players on this Kingdom team. Obviously, a very well-known team going against a not well-known team. And we've already, I wouldn't necessarily call them upsets so far, Brandon, but maybe not necessarily what we thought was going to happen, especially in that one game with Shekel between the pipes.
Yeah, it's something that we did talk about coming into this tournament. A few teams that might not be as well known in the community, but are looking to make a name for themselves. As we have a goal on the bottom left of your screen, the opening goal in that matchup. And here we go. It's Underdogs leading the first score.
Underdogs getting a goal against I3HL Canada in that bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And a great start as we have all 4 games going. Helmet Boys going against Instinct as they get fired up in the top right-hand corner of your screen, Brandon. And you know what? There's just nothing better than more hockey.
Absolutely. And every one of these a first-round matchup aside from LEH versus Kingdom. That is a second-round matchup. Both of those teams received a bye and are playing in the second round. So the winner of that matchup goes to the third round. Well, every single one of these other ones, THB versus Instinct, King of the Rink versus the team of, sorry, I have to get my notes there. King of the Rink versus Empire, or not Empire.
Insult to Injury as they are down by
so many games, so much action.
That's right. Yeah. You're totally right. There's so many games. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
We're picking each other up left, right, and center, Brandon. And we did see a goal in the top left-hand corner of your screen. You're right. Insult to Injury is they've got their back against the wall.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because the thing with Insult to Injury is, like we said, they played so well in that game, only held King of the Rink to 4 shots, but it was just a matter of if they could find a way to get that one extra goal. They scored rather late, couldn't find the second one, and it's interesting because, like we said, so many names, so much talent in that matchup, you just never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't. And in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you've got the Helmet Boys going against Instinct. And there's a breakaway, Brandon. And what a diving save you witnessed there.
Oh, a huge diving save. And just the start of the Instinct and THB matchup is Instinct trying to climb their way back and force a Game 3 in that series after THB stole Game 1 3-2 as an offensive zone faceoff. Going to be one for THB, so they'll get it out of their own zone and start to work. And bottom right of your screen, that's Kingdom and LEH starting up the second period of their round 2 matchup. And right on the bottom left, another one starting up in the second period for Underdogs. So, like we said, we're not going to be short of action. Plenty to watch here at twitch.tv/Capitals. There's a goal on the bottom left. That's Underdogs. Nate puts the second goal of the game in for his team, and they're up 2-0 in their round 1 matchup.
And what a matchup that one is. As the head-to-head battles, we get a nice little refresh on there, and things are looking a lot better here.
Absolutely, as all of our games here close, 3 of them in the second period.
Only
and
one
two of them
up
being
2 to
tied games.
nothing, Brandon, is all these very, very close games, and we expect these games to be very, very tight. Only 1 or 2 goals separating, as there's so much skill in this Capitals tournament.
Yeah, and that's something else we kind of mentioned is just all the skill that there is. A lot of or a lot of players rather that do kind of have that pedigree in really all three facets of the game. And as it looks like top right of your screen, we're going to get a penalty shot here for THB. So the chance to get the opening goal for their side is back at forehand. He puts it in there. Didn't really look like that went in at first, but squeaks its way through. And THB gets the opening goal. And right below that, another goal for LEH. They take a 2-0 lead over Kingdom.
And then we're going to get a penalty shot, Brandon, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. The action doesn't stop, my friend.
Not only that, but on the top left, insult to injury, find the game-tying goal to make it 2-1 in advance for them. It's a goal again for Underdog. So 3-0, and then right next to that one, simultaneously, Kingdom finds the goal that they needed to cut their deficit in half.
Brandon, it doesn't matter where you're looking right now as we get another goal from the Helmet Boys in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Goals aplenty, my friend.
And that was McClutch that put that one in. So now a 2-0 lead for THB. Instinct maybe in a little bit of trouble here in this round one matchup. So a developing story for what could have been seen as a favorite coming into this tournament. So that is something to keep your eye on the top right of your screen. So plenty of goals, plenty of action, plenty of close games. 2-0 in favor of THB. 2-1 for insult to injury as well as for LEH over Kingdom. And a 3-0 lead in favor of Underdogs in their matchup on the bottom left corner. So this is going to be a lot of fun to kind of see how this develops. As a penalty shot on the top left and couldn't get it through. That was going to be a tying answer there for King of the Rink if they could have gotten it past Shekel, but we're not able to.
They were not able to. Shekel, very, very good goaltender on those penalty shots. Definitely knows what he's doing. And you know what, Brandon? I say we hang out here for a little bit and enjoy, as we've got 4 amazing games happening right now. Very tight, and implications on the top 2.
Absolutely. And just to correct something, just so we have everything clear, as we're still getting some of our things with matchups figured out. There's a goal on the top right of your screen. Right as I'm going to say that, THB increased their lead to 3. So Instinct down early by a few goals, and they're going to have some work to do to get back in not only this game, but in this series.
Yeah, the Helmet Boys doing a very, very good job, Brandon. Obviously, they showed up ready to go. They are pouring it on, and are they ever doing a fantastic job? The puck movement by them is just absolutely phenomenal. The defense, great, as they come down and get another one backhand, and McCutch scores.
Yeah, and McClutch, another goal for him. We saw him get a few opportunities late in that game 1. He scored earlier in this game 2. Well, how about that? Put another goal on the board and a 4th in the first period for THB as another goal. That's a minus get on the board to try to maybe spark a comeback in game 1 versus Underdogs.
Funny, Brandon, as soon as I said these were going to be tight games, 1-0, 2-0 games, it's like the guys were listening in the chat as we have had sparks flying all over the ice here. As in the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see insult to injury going up against, you're going to have to help me here, Brandon, is there...
Insult to injury versus King of the Rink.
Thank you very much. They've got the bus as the abbreviation there that's throwing me off.
Yeah, it threw me off a little bit too, but hey, the bus has been going so far at full speed, up 1-0 in this series, trying to find a tying answer in the third period. That is a round 1 matchup, as well as THB and Instinct. Both games on the bottom of your screen, round 2 matchup. So seeing the bracket unfold right in front of us is a chance there potentially for King of the Rink, but couldn't find through. Another chance, but Shekel, as he always is sharp. And how about this? Right below that game, that's a minus. Their second straight goal, and they're right back into this game versus Underdogs.
Well, Brandon, the comeback is real for That's a Minus, isn't it? As Underdogs thought they had this one, but a late goal for That's a Minus puts themselves in a good position.
Yeah, in a good position indeed there. This is really interesting. All of our games, other than THB and Instinct, the goal as insult to injury with a goal to make that change happen. A 3-1 lead for them, and a potentially huge goal for their chances to push this to a third game.
Well, that would help them, wouldn't it? It was a great start, but nonetheless, we're probably going to see a game number 3. But we can't count our chickens yet, can we, Brandon?
Absolutely. You mentioned it earlier. There's a lot of time left, obviously, and it's not far fetched to get a few goals in a short time span in this threes tournament, especially with the way the play styles are, the way that these players are as skillful as they are. Would not be surprised if King of the Ring could maybe find a couple of goals here, but insult to injury, trying to keep that one avoided as they work it in the offensive zone.
As you look in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Brandon, Kingdom's come back and scored a goal, so it's now 2-1 down there. Third period, keep your eye on that.
And right above them, THB get a goal to increase their lead to 5-0. Right as we talked about that, how about LEH, a third goal, and it's right back to a 2-goal advantage of them.
Yeah, just as I say that, they come back and get a very important goal as just routine defense. We only have one goal game now, and that's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Brandon.
Yeah, so the 1-1 goal game, and what's interesting is that just a few minutes ago, that was the game that looked like it might have been getting out of reach. Underdogs were up 3-0, but it's a tie game now. That's a minus with 3 unanswered, and we are even in game 1 of that series.
Well, what a passing play by That's a Minus, and this is something you always see in threes, Brandon. It's the drop pass back to the D-man with the quick one-touch over for the 1T. Usually that winger throws that 1T perk on Brandon to help the situation, but it's just a quick tic-tac-toe play. The goalie can't move over fast enough, and that's a very high percentage play by That's a Minus.
And bottom right, there's a penalty shot for LEH. That's Rocket trying to get it in, but he could not get past. So they cannot find another goal to increase their lead a little bit further, but a good chance there, and they'll have the offensive zone face-off here to try to get something else. That's Kingdom looking to come back in that game, a tie game next to them, as it looks like Instinct get their first goal of the game, so they're going to try to saw their way back into this one and cut that deficit down a little bit, 5-1 in that round 1 game.
Looks like we're going to get a penalty shot here, Brandon, in the top left-hand corner of your screen. And this could be dangerous here for insult to injury.
Yeah, King of the Ring trying to find that second goal. Nice job. Beat Shekel, who tried to use that flying poke check. Converts it so well typically, but a nice job there. Not falling for it. Maybe knowing the tendencies a little bit to cut this lead in half here for King of the Ring.
And how about the Helmet Boys, Brandon? Only 4 minutes left here in the second period, and they've just been dominant in round 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see maybe how far they can go. As Instinct trying to maybe make a comeback happen a little bit. 2 goals unanswered now. That's Moran on the passing play. The one-timer makes this a 3-goal deficit, which with 20 minutes to go, the whole third period, that's plenty feasible for this Instinct team.
As a 3-2 game here, Brandon, in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Only 30 seconds to go.
As insult to injury, looking to push a game 3. King of the Ring trying to find the tying answer to push it in overtime. Maybe clinch a series. Chance out in front, couldn't get it. Shot on it again, saved by Shekel. Puck bounces out below the net. Looking nice with a one-time play. Big save by Shekel. With 15 seconds to go, keeps his team up in front. Pass down low. That's Nuge who rung it around. Shekel puck in front, trying to put it on. Couldn't get it. 5 seconds. King of the Ring, one more chance. Dumped out. Can't get it. And we will be going to a third game. A 3-2 victory for insult to injury over King of the Ring in a absolute thriller.
What a save that was, Brandon, as my friend Shekel comes out, and he might not be able to see nice fashionable clothes in the closet, but he can always see a puck, and he makes a great save.
We're going to go to THB and Instinct. Underdogs, by the way, just scored a goal versus That's a Minus to make that a 4-3 game. We're actually going to switch over to that game for a little bit as we get some of the technical difficulties focused out on that other matchup between Instinct and THB. THB up 5-2 in the third in that game as Underdogs getting that goal to make this a 4-3 game. This is game 1 of this round 2 matchup. That's a Minus trying to find the tying goal. They're in the offensive zone. Trying to find the pass just a little bit off, couldn't get it to go. And now Underdogs with less than 2 to go have possession. Punisher with it, tries to pass it over, but no one home. Watt with it, looks, trying to find an option, couldn't get it down the middle, and here's a chance for that to minus off the turnover. Taking it in, looks, pass in front, big save, stopped for the underdogs. They will maintain their lead with less than a minute left. That's a minus to reset. 2-on-2, stops, goes, shot on net goes wide, may have hit the bottom left post. Fury with it, pass to the point, doesn't go. And it's going to be a breakaway here. Norcut's got it, and he scores! And that should be the dagger for underdogs. A 5-3 lead in game one. And that very well could have put the icing on the cake and the cherry on top as well.
Brandon, isn't that the best thing about threes? We thought we were going to have an overtime game with 3.5 minutes to go. And just like that, it's a 5-3 game. And it looks like the underdogs are probably going to take this one.
How about that? 4 underdogs, no ruts with that goal. He also got the goal to give them the lead as, hey, not so fast, say that's a minus, getting a chance here. Shot on that, big save by LeBlanc to shut the door on that breakaway and on this game as well. Underdogs gonna take game one, 3-5 after dropping that 3-0 lead early. They fend off the comeback effort and take game one in this round 2 matchup.
And what a matchup that has been here in round 2. We do have round 1 and round 2 going at the same time here, Brandon, and just games aplenty, and they are great games nonetheless. What matchups we've been dealt here. A couple teams getting buys, but we're definitely just seeing hands down great threes action all over.
Absolutely, in both round 1 and round 2. That was a round 2 matchup that we had just covered, and obviously insult to injury and king of the rink. In their round 1 matchup, we already know we'll be seeing one series go the distance. So we're already having plenty of action, plenty of excitement from our multiple series, and the other one, obviously, THB looking to hold off Instinct to move on to round 2 as well. And obviously, Tegan, we kind of talked about it, all of these teams hungry for a championship, but there might be a few viewers, and maybe myself included, that might be hungry for something else that isn't a championship.
That's right. Be sure to grab yourself a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries for, yes, you're hearing this right, only $9.99 if you use the McDonald's app. The offer is only valid throughout the duration of the Threes Challenge, guys, so only this weekend, April 23rd to 24th, at participating McDonald's in DC, Baltimore, and Eastern Shore areas. Thank you again to our sponsor, McDonald's DMV.
Absolutely, and $9.99, a great deal for that value, but you want to know what the greatest deal of all is? Something that's free. Not just something that's free, but 2 things that are free. A giveaway from our friends at Scuff Gaming, isn't that right?
They always say to me, what's better than something that's free? Well, obviously 2 things that are free is the Caps Gaming team will be giving away 2 brand new Scuff Gaming controllers throughout today's stream, guys. All you need to do is enter in the chat, type !giveaway here at Twitch TV/Capitals, and we're going to announce those winners later in the show. So hang around and enjoy some high-flying threes action.
High-flying threes action you want to stay for, and obviously you want to stick around to maybe get a chance to win yourself a Scuff Gaming controller as well. And I know you used this one a few times, Tegan, but I think a few of these players have been gripping the Scuff Gaming controllers a little tighter here today. The skill just flourishing so far in all of our matchups. A lot of close games, a few pretty plays in there as well, and it's just really exemplifying what makes these tournaments so fun to watch.
That's right, and Scuff obviously providing buttons on the back of your controller so you can puck protect and eat french fries for $9.99 at the exact same time. So there's just nothing better. Hopefully we have some guys doing that today, but what action that we've been dealt, Brandon. It has been phenomenal threes stuff. I love threes. I love seeing the big guys going around the ice, and that's exactly what we're seeing here, isn't it? We're seeing the little mix with the big guy mix, the truculence being thrown in. I know a lot of the smaller guys hate that, but you know what? You got to give some love to those big guys out there too.
Yeah, and you kind of saw that earlier in the Instinct matchup. Moran, using his size, had 8 hits in 1 period alone, and using that physicality turned into an opportunity off of the turnover. He ended up scoring off of that, so it kind of goes to show you might typically see those smaller builds for that speed advantage, but there's a few pros adding a bigger build too to be able to throw that body around a little bit.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And one thing I did want to point out that the Helmet Boys did very good. How about the puck rotation on the breakout, Brandon? We were watching them actually ring it around the back of the net and it develop a swing play where they follow their pass, go behind each other, and break out of the zone as a unit. It actually caused a couple breakaways. If they continue to do that, we haven't really seen anybody else take advantage of that. But I just wanted to say that is very, very good breakout hockey by the Helmet Boys.
Absolutely. And I think the Helmet Boys, when you kind of look at the lineup that they bring in, maybe a team that's a little bit slept on coming in. Obviously, a team that's had a little bit of success on the Sixers side, but obviously, you look at the draw and you match up with Instinct, a team that's won championships and has a lot of talent on the Sixers side as well. And, you kind of think, like, man, THB, a great team, but it's a rough pull to get in the first round. But they came in, looked great in the first game and looked near dominant there from what we saw in game two, trying to see what's going on with that matchup to see if they held on to that result or if Instinct maybe made a comeback happen. But THB so far through round one, maybe asserting themselves as a contender to win this whole thing.
Yeah, and how about Lay, as they have done a very good job against a team of Kingdom. Kingdom, obviously an amazing threes team. We hadn't really heard much of Lay, and they have come in and actually won that first game. So putting Kingdom on the back burner, which I don't think Kingdom's very used to, are they, Brandon?
Yeah, Kingdom, a team that is pretty established, especially on the three side of things. They are a team, and I think many people expect it to also be a contender to maybe win this whole thing with a few well-known guys on both threes, sixes, and a little bit of ones as well. So a shocking result, potentially an upset you could call it, and we'll see if LEH or Lay, as some may call them, could maybe find a way to bring this thing home. That would definitely be one of the big stories in our opening two rounds. But it looks like we are going to go here into a matchup here in one of our games, as yes, we are a matchup here, double box. Nevertheless, Insult to Injury and King of the Rink on the bottom right of your screen, as Insult to Injury, wasting no time in the third and final game of that series. They find the tying goal, and on the top left of your screen, Underdogs, and that's the minus.
What a save in the top left-hand corner of your screen, and what great production this is. Big shout out to Nick DeMail at 5 Penguin behind the scenes, putting on an absolute broadcasting show here as we get a breakaway, Brendan.
Underdogs with a chance, couldn't get it past, as that was a potential opportunity to double their lead. Another shot on that, but a big save there, as that is a round two matchup between Underdogs and that's minus. Underdogs up in that series 1-0, while on the bottom right, a round one series, game three between Insult to Injury versus King of the Rink, as both of these two matches have been so close so far. Obviously, we kind of look at Underdogs. They're a team that is well known on the Sixers side of things. The name is nevertheless, and I know you're familiar with that's a minus there from a few other leagues that you've been known to call.
Yeah, I definitely know that's a minus, and they are in a scenario where they're on the come up again here and on the comeback, Brandon. So they are found themselves behind once again, but this team is on the come up, and they are fine traveling from behind. We'll see if they can do it again here.
Absolutely. We saw them do it in game one. Fell a little bit short, but on the bottom right of your screen, a goal for King of the Rink to break the tie. A huge one. 2-1 lead in game three for them.
That is a monstrous goal, and that's exactly what they need, looking flashy in that pink. And they have put Insult to Injury behind by one once again.
Yeah, and obviously it says Delusions, a team that I know plenty are familiar with, but King of the Rink for this tournament. We'll see if they can be Kings of the Rink here in the threes challenges. That will go to the end of the first period, with said King of the Rink being up 2-1, and on the top left, just a little bit over 3 minutes to go, with Underdogs having the 1-goal advantage there.
As we look at the 1-goal advantage, Brandon, and it looks like they've got that big defender out there for the Hands team with the two small forwards. So we are seeing this as kind of a routine play here, aren't we?
Yeah, we're kind of seeing it to where you have the two smaller forwards or the two big forwards. I think a lot of it just kind of depends on the play style that each team wants to kind of emphasize on. Obviously, some teams maybe preferring a little bit more size over speed. Is a chance there for that's a minus. Looking for that tying answer with under a minute to go. They will not find it, as Underdogs will move it up the ice here. And Looks like they might just take their time and get one chance, but definitely not rushing anything here. They methodically moved up the ice, got a good chance on the cross crease, but stuffed there by the goaltender. And that'll take us to the end of the first period in that round 2 matchup. A 1-0 lead for underdogs and a great save by LeBlanc to start it all off.
What a passing play and a great save by the goaltender there, Brandon. But it's all about the speedy puck movement, isn't it? Is the tic-tac-toe passing is really what's working here. You hold onto the puck for too long, you get yourself knocked down like you see on the screen there. The trick is possession and moving the puck quickly.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the best teams in not just sixes do, but threes as well. And you can maybe even emphasize that it's more important to do it in threes just because you do have that extra time and space. Obviously, you want to be able to get those shots on net, but you don't see it as much in threes because you have so much space around you that there's not as big of an emphasis to put that puck on because, like we were saying, that time that you have, that space that you have with all that open ice with there being 2 less players on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. Great. And guys, make sure you exclamation point giveaway in the chat as the amazing people at Caps Gaming and Scuff looking to give back to you. So make sure you hit that as we get back into the game here in the top left-hand corner of your screen.
Top left corner of your screen. Game 2, round 2 between That's a Minus and Underdogs. Again, Underdogs up 1-0 in that series, and we just got confirmation on a few series. I'll throw it over to Tegan to rattle some of those off. A couple of shocking results potentially here in this tournament.
Brandon, LD Detroit taking out QVHL 2-0. They should see the Quebec Nordiques going into round 2. What an amazing throwback name that one is, Brandon. Love hearing that one. And it sounds like the Helmet Boys have defeated Instinct 2-0 here, Brandon. Unbelievable as they came out strong here. They're going to go visit the North Fellows in round 2.
And that is an interesting result. Obviously, like we said, THB, a team with a lot of talent, but drawing Instinct in that first round, a lot of people maybe felt that that could have been one that was a little bit tough for them, but they come in, take care of business, and knock out one of the top teams, at least on the sixes side, the team that can plenty handle their business on the 3 sides, as well as a big save on the top left of your screen for Underdogs to keep this at a 1-goal advantage for them.
Brandon with Backstrom-esque speed with an Ovechkin-esque one-timer, but robbed there. And, That's a Minus just really needs to keep putting pucks on net if they want to find the back.
Absolutely, as they're trying to find that tying answer. They did so successfully in the last game, but on the bottom of your screen, speaking of tying answers, Insult to Injury say, hey, we have one in us, a 2-2 game in the second period as they tie it up versus King of the Rink.
And there it is, and that game is our game 2, isn't it, Brandon? So it's do or die for both of these teams.
Absolutely. Game 3, round 1 for Insult to Injury and King of the Rink. So that is win or go home in that series, while Underdogs trying to close their house. And that's a Minus. Get the tying goal, 1-1 in the middle of the second. That was the forward again in No Rucks that finds the answer for That's a Minus.
They are absolutely resilient, aren't they? That actually is going to be the Underdogs, Brandon, that went up 2-0 as they come in and get another one and just extend that lead.
Yeah, excuse me there. The jersey's so similar from the last game. Got a little bit confused there, but that's a big goal for Underdogs to be able to find a way to double that lead. We mentioned how That's a Minus. They have that tendency to come back into games so believable that I thought that they came back and got the tying answer, but it's Underdogs getting that second goal. It's 2-0 there in the middle of the second. Bottom right, 2-2, late periods of the second. And, it's so interesting seeing how both of these games are unfolding. A lot of action and really rapid pace for both of these two sides as well.
Brandon, I got to pump the brakes because our great friend Nick DeMeo behind the scenes is just feeding me the best stats possible as LEH going against Kingdom in round 2. It's happening right now, guys. In second period, Kingdom is up 2-1. They're trying to force a game 3.
And speaking of names of royalty, King of the Rink get a goal on the bottom right of your screen. They go back up in that game by a goal with 8.9 to go, and it looks like a penalty shot on the top left. That was a chance there potentially for the Underdogs to make it 3-0, but a big save there to keep that at a 2-goal deficit.
And a good thing at that. And how about the goaltending there for the underdogs? They may not be the underdogs in this game, but their goaltender is playing like a rabid dog, making sure no pucks get past him here, Brandon.
Absolutely, as you see the game leading goal, bottom right of your screen from Cosmic. As it is King of the Rink up 3-2 at the end of the second period, looking to move their way on to the second round.
And we have a
Wow,
goal.
underdog
Look at that. Brandon is just like you said, bottom right hand corner of your screen. Is King of the Rink goes up 3-2.
Yeah, as it looks like they're going to try to keep that lead here going into second, and we're going to have a penalty shot here on the top left from that Minus. So here's a chance for them to maybe cut that deficit down and get their first goal of the game. Higgs moving it up. Takes his time, and that was red all over by LeBlanc. Looked like he knew exactly where he wanted to go, and he read it just right.
All blue, but it was definitely red all over. Great save, and they're going to try and get out of this period here with a 2-0 lead, but that's a minus. Very resilient, as we talked about. And then in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, 1 period left here for King of the Rink to try and carry it ahead of insult to injury.
Absolutely, and it looks like insult to injury trying to find another tying goal. They've done so a couple of times here in this game. They're going to have one more answer, at least one. Going to have to find 2 if they want to see themselves moving on to round number 2 in the third period. As both of these games so close, a lot of action between these two teams, and it's so interesting because it's two teams that are down here at underdogs and insult to injury that have found ways to come back in games so many times.
As we'll get down to the end here, Brandon, of the second period. Great job by the underdogs against this Hands team. But just as I say that, there's another goal.
And that's underdogs with a third goal, a 3-0 lead now for them. And that is a huge goal for them to get there late stages of the second period, just a few seconds left. And they find a way to increase that lead. And not a few seconds left, no seconds left, according to the game there. And that's a big one there for underdogs. They had to increase that lead. A penalty shot on the bottom right and a big save by Shekel to keep it at a 1-goal deficit for his side.
Shekel needs to be perfect from here on out, and he usually is. A fantastic esports goaltender. He's probably the most decorated and most winning goaltender in all of esports, as we have a 2-1 the other way.
2-on-1 for King of the Rink. Try and look for an option. That's Cosmic at HK. Couldn't get anything to go, however. 13 minutes to go. King of the Rink trying to maybe find another goal to increase their lead. Working it in the offensive zone. Bringing it up to the point. Looking for something. Trying to create some space. Shot on net, save by Shekel. He's showing some of that brilliance that we talked about a little bit earlier. A great save from him to keep this one at bay. King of the Rink trying to find something, but insult to injury caused the turnover, and they will get it out of their own zone and work it up.
Good hockey here, Brandon, in the bottom left, right-hand corner of your screen. Sorry, as instinct is doing, or insult to injury is doing everything they can here to try and get one in.
Yeah, no worries at all. And you can see them applying that pressure despite having that 1-goal lead. They know that that is not enough to try to keep this lead in front of them. It's so quick how things can change in a game mode like threes, and they know that 1 goal, that is no way to feel safe no matter how little time is left. There's a chance there and a big save by Wingles, and that's exactly what we were talking about. It just takes 1 chance to get back into a game.
That's exactly right. And insult to injury has to come back into this game, don't they, Brandon? His backs are against the wall.
Absolutely, and a chance here in the offensive zone for insult to injury, but they're not going to win the faceoff. A nice job there from King of the Rink to get that, but a turnover and a chance because does not find the target for insult to injury, and they're going to have to move it all the way back and reset.
Good reset at that, Brandon. Is like I've said before, threes is a possession game, so the reset is everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so big to be able to reset, especially if you don't have that option. Why force a pass that you know is not going to get a good chance? Reset, maybe try to find something on that breakout. You never know if we can maybe find that little bit of space and give yourself an opportunity. It's insult to injury. Looking to find that space and get a tying answer. 4 minutes to go. A round 1 matchup. Game number 3. Winner moves on to the next round. It's a chance for King of the Rink to double their lead. Passes a little bit off. They'll work in the offensive zone as it'll be a turnover. 2-on-1. Insult to injury of numbers. A nice defensive play from Nuge. And Augie will have to go back and reset with less than 2 to go. Huff with it. Works it up the left side. Doesn't have an option. Trying to find some space. Looking. Passes over to Sweet Lou but doesn't have anything. HK with it. Excuse me, that's Cosmic. Cosmic couldn't get a play off and it'll be turned over. Less than a minute to go. Full-time minute. Insult to injury, trying to find the tying goal, but it'll be offsides with 47 seconds to go.
Now, how amazing, Brandon, is it that we're blessed with a round or a matchup like this in round 1, and the winner of this gets to go play Prodigy. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily we're gonna get final style hockey all the way through, but that's how it's done here at the Caps Gaming Showcase.
Absolutely, and the winner of that matchup versus Prodigy would have to play the winner of That's a Minus and Underdog, so no easy task no matter who you face. And maybe one of the toughest parts of the bracket we are looking at right here is King of the Ring trying to move their way through the bracket. They'll have to hold on for another 47.8 to do so. Big face-off, one there by HK. Cosmic works his way up, looks for an option, 40 seconds to go. King of the Ring playing the possession game. Turned over. That was Sweet Lou that got the hit, and it looks like Shekel will pull himself out of the net. So an extra forward out for insult to injury, just looking for something. Huff with it, pushed out of the offensive zone. He'll find a way to enter back in. Huff with it, makes a move behind the net, couldn't get a shot on. Cosmic, great defense. Shekel, that was him with the puck right there. Worked it down low, but a big hit down low. Huff with it, 12 seconds to go. Augie now working, Huff with it. Insult to injury, have to get a shot off. Backhand, couldn't get it to go. Augie with it, 5 seconds. In front, shot, he scores! That Shekel pulled himself out of the net, and he finds the tying answer with less than 4 seconds to go.
This is threes hockey at its finest. I said it earlier in the cast. I said that Shekel's a great forward as well, didn't I, Brandon? And he comes out and proves it. With 3.7 left on the clock, he puts the team on his back, and we are going to overtime.
And he capped it off with a save at the end, nevertheless. And, we talked about it, Teague, and this being a possession game, and obviously it's so hard to try to keep that possession when that clock is ticking and you're down by 1. And you just kind of saw it there, a patient offensive set there for insult to injury. And, it's easy to question, like, man, you're down, there's only a few seconds left, get that puck on net. But patience, a virtue for them right there. A great play there on the pass from Sweet Lou, finding Shekel, who was in the right place at the right time in front of the net. And he capitalized to put that one in.
Now that is content, Brandon. We're going to overtime off a goaltender pulling himself and scoring in threes. Can you write this script any better here at the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge?
It's threes hockey. It's Caps Gaming. What else would you expect but action, excitement, and a little bit of the unexpected as well, as we are going to sudden death overtime. Game 3 winner moves on to play Prodigy in the second round. Two well-known teams, a lot of well-known players as well. So this is going to be a doozy to call and a fun one to watch as insult to injury moving up the ice. That's Nuge with it, works it around over to Cosmic. Had HK there for a second, decided to hold on to it and wait. Works his way into the offensive zone, looking for an option. Tried to pass in front, but nobody home. Augie will pick that up for insult to injury. HK got it, dumped it down low, and it'll be a little bit of a reset here for insult to injury as Lou gives it over to Augie to quarterback this breakout. Couldn't get anything on the right side. Huff will find it now. Huff with a chance, trying to get it to Lou, but a nice job there from HK to break that one up, and Cosmic will take it up with him. Takes his time, works his way down the middle. Tried to get that deke off, get a little bit of space, but couldn't get it to convert. Chance here doesn't go, and it's going to be a breakout chance now for insult to injury. They find a way in the offensive zone, but couldn't keep it. Cosmic will give it down a little Nuge, and he'll work his way up the ice for King of the Rink. 12 minutes to go here in this overtime period. First overtime, winner moves on to round 2. Nuge with it, tried to find it in front, but couldn't find anything. Huff is taking it up now for insult to injury. Looking for an option, doesn't have much. Great pressure there on the back check from King of the Rink, and they'll get the puck out from it. Cosmic moving it up the left boards. Looking for an option, tries to put it on, but Shekel in position. A nice little simple save from him there, and a great poke check there on HK, and King of the Rink will have to reset.
Big reset here, and this is exactly Elite Threes hockey, isn't it, Brandon? Back and forth possession hockey. No giveaways as we get a shot on. Big rebound play. 3-on-2 the other way, Brando.
Numbers for insult to injury. Augie with it, looking for an option, tried to get it in front, but didn't have it. Hits the right side of the pad of Wingles, and now King of Rink will go back to work. HK looking for something. Finds the top over to Nugent. Point shot on that, saved by Shekel. Rebound doesn't go anywhere of a high danger chance, and Augie will pick that one up. Sweet Lou looking for something, gives it the point to Augie. Augie over to Huff. Huff trying to pass it back across, couldn't find it. Augie shot on that slap shot, glove saved by Wingles. He's going to toss it out. It's April. We toss those. Cosmic working it up. Looking for an option, goes down low. Has HK Nuge in front, he scores! Nuge with the game winner, and King of the Rink move on to round 2 and will face Prodigy after a thrilling 4-3 overtime victory over insult to injury.
I just heard that's why the abbreviation is bus, Brandon, because they tell the driver, hey, keep the bus running. We're going to wrap this one up real quick, and they do so against insult injury.
Bus stop is not at round 1, and it may not be at round 2. They will move on to at least there and face a Prodigy team that is definitely one of the favorites coming into this thing. And, you know, it's interesting with King of the Rink, they were in the Xbox One side of the tournament, and we were kind of talking about, me and Nick were, how they were a team that could maybe find a way to really make something happen, but they ran into one of those ILSGT teams, did not look bad, but just were not giving enough there to find their way past them. Got bounced in round 1. Well, boy, oh boy, were they impressive there in this series.
They definitely were, and Shekel part of that ILSGT club, and he is not actually going to be moving on. So a winner in the tournament a couple weeks ago, but going to be bounced out in round 1 here in the Caps Gaming 3's Challenge.
Absolutely. And while we were looking at that game, obviously a lot of bracket implications on what we were viewing between those two teams. A few results happened on some of our other matchups. Unknown Talent in their series won game 1 3-2 over Quality, as we do not have a stream for that one, but we are going to try to feed the results as we do get them. On other news, Kingdom finds a way to beat LEH 4-2, so they're going to see their series go to a game 3. So that's our second game 3 of the day. Red Light wins their series 2-0, and Underdogs closed out their series as well versus That's a Minus. So they're going to be moving on to round 3. So 2 series wrapped up, another one going to a third game, and boy, Tegan, all this action, I got to be honest with you, makes you a little bit hungry, doesn't it?
I was going to say, it's more seeming like a play place here. As guys, if you tune into the McDonald's app, be sure to grab yourself a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries for just $9.99. The offer is only valid throughout the duration of the Threes Challenge, which is this weekend, April 23rd to 24th, at participating McDonald's through DC, Baltimore, and Eastern Shore areas. Thank you again to our amazing sponsor, McDonald's DMV.
Absolutely, and you know, these teams might not be playing for the prize and a Happy Meal, but they're playing for $1,500, so you can kind of understand why we're seeing all of these guys play to the extent that they are. You're seeing the skill really flourish, and the IQ a little bit as well, and you know, you usually hear that term more thrown around on the Sixes side just because there isn't that time, there isn't that space, there's so many things to have to consider, but when you have so much danger with the way the threes flows, when you can get that offense going with just the smallest mistake, that IQ almost a little bit more important to an extent.
And it comes with IQ and it doesn't. It's player build choice as well, Brandon. You're seeing that big build hit and knock down the little guy. Every time that happens in the offensive zone, it's instantly a 3-on-2. Sometimes that player can take 2 to 7 seconds to get up, depending if it's an injury or if that player is just down. That 2 to 7 seconds, a puck can go in the net 4 times. It's so quick. The puck movement is so fast. You get that knockdown, and it does build into that IQ. You have to notice it as that winger and as that center, or defense and winger, depending on who your big player is. But you have to notice to get to those right places on the ice. And not only that, Brandon, when the hit is made, you have to be there to pick up the puck before the other team. That is having great puck support here. It's all about possession, puck support, and staying close to your teammates.
Absolutely, that possession's so big, and we've seen a lot of examples of that. And I think that obviously we haven't covered them in a little bit just because that series ended a little bit earlier. Maybe some expected it to, but I think a team that exemplified that really well were THB. They really controlled the puck possession so well in that series. And the thing so impressive about it is it's a team against instinct that, even though six is a little bit different than threes, prides themselves on being able to control that puck possession and hem a team in their own zone.
Yeah, and that's everything, isn't it? Is time on attack, and especially if you're on the lead. Playing the slow game in sixes is one thing. We talk about that. We've talked about it in the cap showcase as well, is that players like to take the puck when they're up and slow things down, move it around the offensive zone. Well, in threes, it becomes twice as much because goals can happen twice as fast. You need to slow things down if you're ahead. You need to play the game within the game and really adjust as the game's being played, depending if it's a 1 goal game, a 3 goal game, or a 5 goal game.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how these series continue to develop. And obviously, we were only in round one and a few round two matchups. There's a few teams that we haven't even seen yet. A team like Prodigy that has had some success, not just on the sixes side, but on the three side. Obviously, there's a few other teams, Unknown Talent, a team that's had some success on both ends that we haven't gotten to see yet. So we've seen some of the examples of that skill, but we're not done yet. There's still some teams that exemplify this very well that we haven't even gotten to look at.
Yeah, we have not got to look at them yet, Brandon, but we just got word from the amazing Nick F5 Penguin DeMeo that round one is over, Brandon. We are going to be moving on to round two, and we may not have seen some teams yet, but oh boy, we are in for some doozies as we carry on.
Absolutely. Looks like that Red Light and Improc series was the last series to go final in that round one. So round one, we can close the book and open our next one over to round two. So we have our matchup set and we can go over to the bracket, and you kind of go when you look at it. Obviously, that first matchup on your screen, I think that's the one that really kind of stands out to a lot of people. Prodigy versus King of the Ring.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing, amazing battle. Prodigy going against a King of the Rink. You go further down, you're going to have That's a Minus going against Underdogs. Please ignore the score in this, or I believe that one is over. My mistake. We carry down even further to I3HL Antarctica against Composure. That was a 2-0 win for them. And then Red Light against the Blues Brothers that we are going to see in round two here, Brennan.
Yeah, so a few great matchups. And then obviously, you thought that was it. We're not done. The Quebec Nordiques versus LG Detroit. And then to finally finish it off, LEH versus Kingdom, and that one, ignore that score over there. That one is going to a game three. Unknown Talent versus Quality. And then what is our final matchup? THB and North Fellows. So obviously we saw THB go and defeat Instinct in round one. North Fellows, we're waiting for them on the bye. So we have a lot of great series. Some of them have already wrapped up. A few of them are still going on, and that includes that game three between Kingdom and LEH. And it's interesting with that series, Tegan, because I don't know if there's a lot of people that really knew a lot about of LEH coming in. They've gone in and pushed one of the more talented teams in this tournament to a third game.
Yeah, very impressive stuff by them, and not a lot of names familiar, but definitely names on Kingdom that you would recognize, and doing a very good job they are.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see if they can complete the upset bid or if Kingdom can move on after what may or may not have been a little bit of a scare, but that's going to be a fun game three to watch as we get things going in round two. Brandon Bigsby, aka B Major, King Lime. It's King Lime, Tegan Blair, the man to my right. And obviously, can't say the names without mentioning our amazing producer in the back, Mr. Nick DeMeo, better known to you as F5 Penguin. So just amazing to be a part of this. We've already have had so much great action through our first couple of rounds. And like we said, we're not done. We get a game three coming up. We get a couple of new series starting up with a few teams we've already seen play. And obviously another team in Prodigy that we've not gotten to see play, but know plenty about versus King of the Rink, who are already pushed to the brink against a team of a lot of talent and insult to injury.
I'm very excited to see the bus go up against Prodigy here. These guys know each other very well. It is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be able to see it on the ice. It's going to be a lot of fun for us as well, as those are going to be great teams going head to head. Brandon, you've hit the nail on the head. And how about Prodigy with guys like Polks, Cad? You know, they've been known and decorated in these threes tournaments, and they're going to look to do it again here at the Caps Threes Challenge.
Looking to add a little bit more gold to those illustrious resumes. Obviously, Prodigy is such an accomplished team, especially considering how their ascendance really only happened about a little bit over a year ago. So in a short time, they've already accomplished a lot. Looking to add a little bit on the three side of things as well with that great lineup that they bring to the table with guys like Cad, Pogues, Geimer, etc. So it's going to be fun to watch them versus King of the Rink, as it looks like we're going to be seeing that matchup soon with our stream, Kingdom and LEH. That is game 3, round 2 between those two teams. Winner will move on to the third round. And like we said, it's going to be interesting to see the winner. That one, by the way, plays the winner of Quebec Nordiques and LG Detroit. That series has not yet started yet, so the winner of that one gets to kind of take a chance to collect their breath, but will probably be happy to escape with a series win.
Yeah, definitely. And then the Prodigy and King of the Rink, you've got underdogs patiently waiting in round 3 to take the winner of that. And, you know, that is just going to be high octane hockey all the way through. We saw the underdogs, but that's a minus play. And that was very good hockey. And I can imagine whoever gets through Prodigy or King of the Rink, that is going to be a lights out game. So it's amazing. We're seeing finals all the way through, like we said here, Brennan.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about that Quebec Nordique series versus LG Detroit. Well, how about LG Detroit? They get off to a quick start, up 2-0. We will go to that game right now. So we're going to get a little bit of goalie action. Goalies are people too. We're going to get the goalie view here as Quebec Nordique streaming, and they will get a goal right as they get onto the broadcast here. They like the bright lights on them, and they're going to cut this deficit in half to make it 2-1.
They feel pretty good doing that. What a pass out front. You see the cross crease one-timer, very high percentage play here in threes. Detroit comes out off the bat and gets a 2-0 banger. And then just like that, we have the Nordiques come back and cut that deficit in half.
That was King Ovi that got the goal for Quebec Nordiques, and all of a sudden they're right back in this game, 2-1. Midway through the first period. It's another chance here. A breakaway couldn't get past as Quebec Nordique tried to find the tying goal. It was Benny, or excuse me, that Mighty Duck actually, that had that breakaway chance but could not find it through. Big save there for the Nordiques, and just rapid fire pace, and it's not getting in there. We're gonna have a penalty shot.
About that fake slap shot there on the breakaway. He's got to have a scuff controller to be able to do that. Holy, pressing multiple buttons at once to get that one going, Brandon.
Ducks fly together, but that Mighty Duck will fly alone on this one. A penalty shot with a chance to tie the game when we get back into it, as we will go back into the studio. A little bit of a technical difficulty there. Nick DeMayo behind the scenes doing a great job. He will get that back here for us ASAP. Brandon Bixby, aka B Major, Tegan Blair, better known as It's King Lyman. You know, it's so fun kind of watching how these things can change. We went into that game, looked like LG Detroit were well at hand with a controlling 2-0 lead, and then all of a sudden, a few seconds later, the Nordiques get a goal, and then another chance right after that with a penalty shot to tie it up.
How high octane, Brandon. That's what I said. It's all gas, no brakes. Detroit comes out, gets 2 quick goals, and Nordiques answer in the first 10 minutes of the first period. And that's threes in a nutshell, isn't it? You can have games that are 1-0, 0-0 to overtime, depending on how the game's played. There's so many ways to play threes. And that's why I think the competitive side is so different. You know, you can play aggressive, you can play defensive, you can mix it in together, you can play 3 high, you can play 1 high. You know, there's just so many different plays where sixes, it's really trap hockey seems to work the best, where in threes, no one's really narrowed it down or figured it out quite yet, which makes it very, very exciting to see in a competitive scenario.
Yeah, and I love how you mentioned it on the defensive end, because I think you see it a lot on the matchups with the breakout. You see some teams kind of trying to just get it up as quickly as possible with those long stretch passes, just trying to kind of make that Omaha-esque play to just try to beat you with that speed, while we've seen for other teams, kind of similar to Sixers, just try to slowly and methodically work their way up the ice with those quick passes through the neutral zone to get that space and beat you past the blue line with a more kind of, you know, just thought out pace rather than just going rapid fire and trying to beat you with that speed. So it's so interesting to see the strategy between these two teams and all the teams that kind of have those different play styles, especially when those two play styles go against one another.
And a perfect example is the Helmet Boys. You see some people try and get it out of the zone quickly. You saw the Helmet Boys slow it down, rotate the puck around, and move out slowly. And that worked very, very well for them as we dive right back in to Detroit going against the Nordiques here, Brandon. And just like that, period number 2, it's a 2-2 game.
Yeah, so the Nordiques, we saw them down to nothing when we came into this game. Well, here we are. It's a fresh game, 2 apiece for these two teams. Start the second, Spoon taking it up for Detroit. Breakaway chance, shot, and scores. Spoon on the breakaway, beats the goaltender forehand, and just like that, Detroit takes that lead back early in the second.
Just like that, another spoonful for Detroit as they come out and get their third one. It's going to be a 3-2 game breakaway. Goaltender doesn't have much of a chance. And as a goaltender here in threes, you got to expect a lot of breakaways here, Brandon, because they do come fast.
Absolutely, you see a lot more breakaways on the 3 side than you do the 6's side because of what we talked about. With that space, you can take advantage of that. You saw it right there, Spoon using that space to get himself open as the breakaways. There's going to be a chance here for a 2-on-1 for the Nordiques. Mighty Duck with it, looking for an option. Pass across, couldn't find his target there. That was Ovi on the chance, but couldn't connect. Detroit trying the counter. That's Spoon with it. Gives it over to his teammate. Backhand. Couldn't convert. Might have had the space, but couldn't get past Wolf. Spoon shot on that. A little bit aggressive, but a glove save nevertheless. And a whistle with 14:08 to go in the second.
Interesting, the Nordiques holding on to that puck, Brandon. A lot of the time in threes, we see the goaltenders play the puck. You called it out earlier. They like to keep the momentum going. Not a lot of stoppages. Keeps the momentum going for your team, but an interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays out here.
As Duck will move it up and give it over to Benny, that's Ovi, kind of taking his time up, takes a big hit there, and it'll turn to a turnover, and that's exactly what you were talking about, Tegan, using that body to create the turnover with a big hit. We'll hear a little bit more about that here in a second as a breakaway chance. Mighty Duck for the tie, forehand, holds it, he scores! A patient play for the Mighty Duck, quacks his way back, and a tie game once again for the Nordiques.
As we get a tie game there, it's just a back and forth battle. As we're going to pop over and take a look at a couple games here, Brandon. Is we've got LEH going against Kingdom. They are in the third period, and look at that. Kingdom up 4-3. A couple of great tight games here.
Absolutely, and that is in game 3. So Kingdom, if they can hold on, they will move on to the third round to face the winner of our other round 3 matchup, which interestingly enough would be Quebec Nordiques and LG Detroit. So we're kind of seeing the bracket unfold right in front of us right here. So keep both eyes on both of these games because a lot of action and a lot of implications for the 4 teams on your screen. As this is Quebec Nordiques with a chance trying to move it on their way up the ice. As they try to work in the neutral zone but couldn't find a clean pass, and they'll have to reset.
The reset is everything here, especially in a tie game, Brandon. As you see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, it sets them up as they come into the offensive zone, just like that, right? So it's just a flip of a coin here on possession. Absolutely, and you're seeing that you kind of saw that right there from Quebec Nordiques, as you mentioned, as the LG Detroit with a chance. Looks like we had a little bit of a freeze, but Elton with the puck on a stick tried to get it on net for potentially a quick pass or a rebound, but Wolf sharp on that one to stop that. And he's going to have to be sharp here, Brandon. You don't want to give up a late period goal here. We're in a 3-3 scenario, and the momentum can just pour through into the third period. That's a big goal for Kingdom on the bottom right of your screen. That will make it a 2-goal advance for them late in the third, so they look like they could potentially be on their way to the next round, but obviously this is threes. Still have to hold on for a minute. They do have to hold on. We're going to get ourselves here to the last 5 seconds of the second period. Looks like we're going to go even unless the Nordiques come down and get a quick one here. But how about Kingdom leading through game number 3 here in a 4-3 scenario?
Absolutely, and that is a huge goal, like we mentioned, for Kingdom, because we talked about it earlier. Obviously, LEH coming in, winning game one, maybe a little bit of a punch in the mouth early, but a nice response from Kingdom. They came in, won game two in style, and despite being tested a little bit here in game three, looks like they might be on their way to round three if they can hold on for the next 5 minutes and change. As a 2-goal advantage for them, LEH gonna have to get aggressive. They have the puck on their stick right now. Shot on net, finds this way in! That's Rocket. It kind of fluttered in the net, might have hit off of a Kingdom player, but just like that, we're right back where we were. A 1-goal game between these two teams that seem inseparable in this series.
Well, you know, that definitely wasn't a Rocket, Brandon, but it finds the back of the net, and that's Rocket's hat trick here, as he's putting on a little bit of a show for LEH, and they've gotten themselves in a scenario where they have 3 minutes with their back against the wall, Brandon. They need to give it everything they have now.
As Joss is moving it up for Kingdom after the big save. A chance here, 2 minutes to go. Beautiful move, but a big save for LEH to keep this game at bay. They'll move it up on the counterattack. A minute to go. Game three, winner moves on to play the winner of the matchup on the top left. Quebec Nordiques in Detroit. Kingdom working in the offensive zone. Trying to find a shot on net, it finds its way past. That's Ulmer, who might have just put the dagger in the hearts of LEH.
What a goal by Ulmer as he comes in and finds the back of the net. And that is a great solo effort as he forward checks, get the puck on his stick, and it looks like he might be cashing himself into the next round.
Absolutely. Now, like we said, goals can be scored quickly in threes. We saw LEH score one quick one. They'll have to score two here, left in a minute to go as Kingdom with a chance. A beautiful move and a score. And Kingdom, if there were any doubts, that goal right there just put them to rest.
And that is going to be the double dagger, Brandon, I guess is what we're going to call it. That as Detroit comes down, but what a save by Nordique's goaltender, and another one, Brandon.
Wolf is howling on that big save. What a play, and it remains a tie game. Quebec Nordiques trying to move it up the ice to find something, giving their goaltender a little bit of offensive help, as it looks like Kingdom should be able to hold on to that lead, up by 3, a few goals late to pad that lead a little bit. There's only 15 seconds to go in that game 3. Winner of Quebec and LG Detroit will play Kingdom in round 3, as LEH going to just respectfully play this out, keep the puck to themselves, and that will do it. Kingdom move on to game 3, a late surge, put them through a 7-4 victory over LEH, who gave them quite a fight.
Kingdom moving on to round 3, and we're going to dive into this amazing game. 3-3, Nordiques in Detroit, Brandon, and this is neck and neck.
A 3-3 game. We've talked about teams being inseparable. Feels the same for these two. They were 2-0 advantage for Detroit, and all of a sudden Quebec Nordiques got a couple of goals in, and ever since it's been tight between these two sides. We are about a little bit under halfway through the third period.
And it's been a great period as the game kind of adjusted here, Brandon. We spoke about how teams like to adjust, and it's become more of a defensive game as Wolf making great saves to make sure to keep the Nordiques in a good scenario, but it has turned into more of a defensive battle.
Absolutely, as Detroit trying to get a little bit of offense going in this defensive battle as they take their time down low. That's Elton with it at the point. He'll work it down low, passes it back up to the point. And we'll see the puck right back on. It's like shot on net. Big save by Wolf. And the puck will find its way over to the right side. Ovechkin with it. Takes his time, and he'll get a bit more space to break that out and pass it over to his left defenseman. Mighty Duck with it. Works his way up, but a little bit antsy. And offside with just over 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes to go, and it's been a very, very slow period, Brandon. I think it's going to be maybe a broken play, a puck off a skate. We saw LEH get one, and I think it's probably going to be something like that to finish this game out.
Both teams looking to get that goal. A Spoon with a chance, but great defense by Benny. Works it up to Quack, that Mighty Duck. Gave it over to Benny, but turned over. Now Detroit looking to get on the counter. Koivu with it, looking, shot on that, pass save, another save by Wolf. Pat again, another save, and he will swallow that one up and pass it out. Less than a minute to go. Game 1 series tied, obviously, at 0 apiece between these two teams. 41 seconds to go. Trying to set the tone in Game 1. Alton with it. Turned over, and that's Benny. Turnover! Spoon! Backhand! Big save by Wolf! Slides trying to anticipate, but it leaves the net open! A score for Detroit late with 25 seconds to go, and they take the lead 4-3.
Wolf trying his best to just hold down the fort there, Brandon, but how about the patience of the center there to hold on to that puck? Detroit just takes its time. What a save by Wolf. He makes an amazing pad save. It's kicked out. Unfortunate rebound. Goes right to the center of Detroit, and instead of firing that puck right away, he takes an extra step in a second, makes sure it goes into the back of the net, and Detroit possibly, barring some miracles, will have themselves a Game 1 victory here.
I love that you mentioned that extra second because you see on the replay, Wolf guessed that he was going to shoot left. That extra second allowed that to happen to where he slid out, guessing that he was going to shoot to that left side, and it left for an open net for Detroit to go ahead and put that puck on and take the lead as Quebec Nordiques need an answer quickly. They try to rush this thing up the ice. Ovechkin with it, turned over at the blue line. They're going to have to reset. 10 seconds to go. Last gasp for the Nordiques. Benny takes it up. 5 seconds. Got to get a shot, puts it on. Doesn't get on that. Detroit will clear it out. That Spoon with it. He will hold it. And LG Detroit holds on after a late goal. Gives them the lead with 25 seconds left. A 1-0 series lead over the Nordiques.
What a gorgeous game that was. Detroit leads 4-3 over the Nordiques, and it was all offense in the first two periods, Brandon. It's so awesome to watch these guys notice that this is big money on the line. They want to slow it down. It turns into a defensive battle, and just like that, Detroit squeaks out with a rebound that pops out to their center, and they buried that and get themselves into a first game victory. So a 1-0 lead is they're going to carry themselves into this best of three.
Absolutely, and if Game 1 is, or is Game 2 rather, is anything as close to what Game 1 was, we are in for quite the series. It's been so fun to call in that series, no exception to say the least.
Yeah, no exception at all. It's been an amazing battle here at the Challenge, Brandon, and we couldn't ask for anything better as we get a big win from Detroit, and we're going to keep grinding through this round 2 as the Helmet Boys, we just got word, are up 1-0, and we're going to dive into that game.
Absolutely. The Helmet Boys have to get past the instinct to get here. Defeated them in that series 2-0, as we'll see how the fellows can maybe get themselves past this hot THB teams that has really been clicking on all cylinders so far from when you've seen them, Tegan.
Yeah, they great job by them. I think they are holding their heads pretty high as McCutch comes down and scores, Brandon.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. A big answer there from THB. Right as we were talking about how they were clicking on all cylinders, they get a goal to double their lead to 2-0.
That's exactly what this team needs, Brandon, is just keep pouring it on. They go up 1-0. They're going on 2-0. And it's just exactly what they need here. They just keep going and going and going. Just don't stop and play the other team's game. They're playing their game, and it's working for them now.
Absolutely, as that's Clutch at the top of your screen, giving it over to Sky, back over to Naslin. Naslin with it. Back over to Sky, and just the puck movement from THB has been phenomenal all series long, all tournament long so far. As a chance there to score. We just talked about that passing. A great example of it there. Naslin puts the puck in the net, and it's a 3-0 lead now for the Helmet Boys.
How amazing is that and the puck movement, guys? You got to really pay attention to that to notice it. But McCutch, the winger, brings that puck out right to the blue line, which ends up taking the defenders out. And it opens up some room, Brandon. It turns into a mini 2-on-1 within the offensive zone. They get the puck back door and they score. And it's now a 3-0 game. And they're sitting pretty comfortably here in game number 1 in round 2. But a breakaway the other way, Brando.
Here we go. New fellows looking for a chance. Couldn't reach that puck to capitalize on that. Would have been a huge opportunity for New Fellows as we wind down the first period, but just could not get it to go. Neufeld trying to work it in the neutral zone less than 10 seconds ago, trying to get one to cut this lead down a little bit. Does not look like they'll be able to, as THB, the Helmet Boys, a commanding 3-0 lead after the first period, and a couple of goals that we saw right here on the stream to get that to that point.
And 5 shots by the Helmet Boys. We talked about quality over quality over quantity. Brandon, in threes, is it's more about getting those shots on in the correct areas.
Absolutely. And, it's interesting because we talked about a lot about their offensive game and the way they've been able to utilize those quick passes. But how about the way they've been able to hem a team in the offensive zone using those quick passes? Sometimes, we talk about the best offense being defense, but sometimes the best defense is a really good offense.
That's exactly right. And sometimes the best offense is a better defense. You score 8, the other team can't, right, Brandon? So it goes either way. Is another big goal. Uh-oh.
Absolutely. We're going to get a little bit of communication there, and we're going to go back to the studio here. Brandon Bigsby, a.k.a. B Major. It's King of Lime, Tegan Blair, the man to my right. And, we were kind of talking about THB a little bit, and this is another example of it. You can play as much defense as you want, but, you don't have to worry about the defense if you were hemming your opposition into their own zone and using that offense and just the possession game for them. So good in the 3 games we've seen them.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. You get a little calms from them as well, letting everybody know how good they really are, Brandon. But phenomenal stuff by the Helmet Boys. And I don't think they came into this tournament with people being worried about them. And, I think that now if you're getting to see them in the bracket, you're starting to not want to be on their side.
Absolutely. And, it's interesting because we kind of talked about that at the open of this broadcast. There are some teams, obviously, that were in this tournament that we expected to kind of make their mark. Teams like King of the Rink, Insult to Injury, Prodigy. We know those teams plenty, not just on the Sixes side, but the 3 side as well. But obviously, the Helmet Boys, they're a team that are in the Sixes scene, have had a little bit of success, haven't gotten that championship glory to a consistent level, but a team with a lot of talent, and we're seeing that here in this tournament.
Yeah, I just got word that, yes, the Helmet Boys, they are all using scuffs, and that's obviously how they're putting the buck in the back of the net so easily, Brandon. And guess what? Everybody in the chat, you guys can get your hands on a scuff too and play like the Helmet Boys, as the Caps Gaming team will be giving away 2 brand new scuff gaming controllers throughout today's stream, guys. All you need to do is enter ! giveaway in the chat here at the amazing twitch.tv/capitals, and we'll announce today's winners later in the show.
Absolutely, and this is your last chance before the giveaway at the top of the hour. Giveaway number 1 is going to be in 16 minutes sharp, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you have 16 minutes to enter for your last chance for giveaway number 1. So ! giveaway to enter for that Scuff Gaming controller. So make sure you enter that, be here to claim, and you might just win yourself a beautiful, comfortable, effective Scuff Gaming controller. And a big thank you, obviously, to everyone at Scuff Gaming and Caps Gaming for allowing us to give these away here on stream today. But, one thing that's not being given away is some of these games we're seeing, Tegan. I mean, just the competition that we're seeing. So many close games between these 2 teams, or all of these teams, rather, and none of them giving an inch so far. And you kind of saw that with that Quebec-Detroit matchup. Yeah. You can just tell how much both of these sides and all of the teams in today's tournament want to win that share of $1,500.
They definitely do, and it's all gas, no brakes. We've been saying it right from game 1, and I believe it's going to continue to carry on this way, Brandon. These teams know what's on the line. It's only 4 guys on a squad here, so the money is not divided up between 6s. So, these guys are going to dive in, and they're going to try and get those dollars, get those bragging rights, and not only that, being able to say you're the champion of the Caps Threes Challenge.
Absolutely. And, you kind of mentioned, obviously, that's a good chunk of money on the line. Obviously, you win the big $1,000 chunk of that $1,500, then that's $250 a piece. That's, a nice little something for yourself, maybe a nice dinner at McDonald's, and all of a sudden, you have a little bit more money in your pocket from winning this tournament. So it's going to be interesting just seeing how these teams have been playing, knowing what they've been playing for. And obviously, not just about the money, but all of these guys, they're competitive. They want to be champions at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, exactly right. Is the money's nice, but we know this community. The guys, the mouths are massive. They love getting in each other's ears and letting them know how many rings are going on. I'm sure you'll see a few of these happening today.
Absolutely. The ring finger celebration, the ring finger check. And, it's always so fun. Obviously, all these players, they know each other pretty well in the community. And there's always just that extra little bit that you want of bragging rights when you can get it. And obviously, a chance here to do so with our Caps Gaming Threes Challenge, presented by McDonald's, DMV, and powered by Rival Games. It's just been so fun to watch all of this unfold as we continue through our third round of coverage of the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge. And, it's going to be interesting. We are going to probably get to see Quebec and Detroit here in a little bit. As a matter of fact, here we are with that game 0-0 early in the first period. And, obviously, Tegan, that game one so close, wouldn't be shocked if we see a similar result here in game two.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It was a very, very tight battle. A lot of offense we saw when the game started. And we'll see if we get that here in game number two, as both of these teams want to get themselves to round three.
As quick passes from Detroit led to a chance, but a sharp save there from Wolf to shut that one down. And that's going to lead to a chance for Quebec to counter, but it'll be turned over at the blue line. And Detroit will try to chase that puck down, and it'll be an icing, a close call nevertheless. But Quebec will see a face-off in their offensive zone.
Yeah, big face-off in the offensive zone, and the Nordiques need a big win here. If Detroit does take the W, their tournament is going to be over here, Brandon.
Yeah, they're going to need to find a way to find some goals and find a victory if they want to push this to a game three. Obviously, the Nordiques, a team that came back from a early deficit in game one, don't want to get themselves in that same hole. And this game is a chance, but a big save by Wolf. I'm going to be saying that in my sleep tonight, Teague, and that's another one from him. And how sharp has the Quebec Nordiques goaltender been in this game?
Absolutely phenomenal, Brandon, but he needs something from his forwards, doesn't he? They need to get down there, get some time in the offensive zone. They really need to get things cooking here.
As it looks like they'll try to do that. It's a quick entry into the offensive zone, clean by the boards, and it finds an opportunity, and it's a goal for that Mighty Duck, and the Nordiques will strike first midway through the first period, a 1-0 lead for them in game two.
Just give me a second to pack up my crystal ball here, Brandon, as that's a huge goal for the Nordiques. They get themselves in a 1-0 scenario. They need to hold on. They've got the goaltender in Wolf that is doing it for them, but not if they give up a breakaway here.
And this is a chance for Detroit. That's Eldon tried to get it on, but a nice hit there from behind to keep that chance from going off cleanly. A big back-checking play from Quebec stops the chance for Detroit. As this is Elton with it, he'll move it up the ice, but it'll be offsides with 10:09 to go in the first period. And Teagan, you kind of talked about how Quebec needed to get that first answer. Maybe if they do so in that first game, that game goes a little bit differently. But it's like we said, they were down early in that game and had to find a way to come back.
Yeah, they definitely did. And this is a little bit of a different scenario, isn't it, Brandon, where the Nordiques have themselves ahead. And like I said, with the goaltending of Wolf, it works out pretty well. It's possession hockey. Let's see if they adjust here as Benny comes in. What a move.
Nice move from Benny indeed. Puts it on net, and it finds a rebound and a score. That Mighty Duck, yet again, his second goal. And now the Nordiques in control. They double their lead 2-0 in the first period. Looks like they want to push this to a game three.
It's looking that way, isn't it, Brandon? And I think they came out and did it for Wolf. Wolf had massive saves to kind of build a bit of momentum and show the guys that they're still in this. They're now leading 2-0. Just kind of like what we saw with Detroit. They came out with a huge first period. It's now going to be the Nordiques.
Now Detroit's going to have to find a way to find that answer. We kind of mentioned it earlier a little bit, but remember, Detroit, they have yet to be down so far in this series, so unfamiliar territory. We'll see if they can tread their way through that as a chance here with some numbers, but a nice job from Quebec getting back on defense. This is Elton with a shot on net. Glove save by Wolf. He's going to toss that one out to Benny. Benny going quick. The Nordiques have some numbers. He's going to move it up the ice. Can we see a nice move there? And Benny's going to just wait and reset at the point. Down low is the puck. Nordiques going to take their time as Ovi moves it back down low. And that's the Mighty Duck with it. Up to the point to Benny. Shot on that, slapped around. And it looks like that one's going to pretty much be reset, but picked up by Spoon of Detroit. Gives it over to Elton. Elton looking for an option. Tries to get it across, but couldn't find Spoon, and that can turn into a chance for the Nordiques. That's Duck with it, looking for something. taking his time, using some space, gives it over down low, but nobody home, and it will be reset, and that's Campagno with it. Giving it over to Spoon, couldn't find that second pass, and Elton will battle for it, goes to Spoon. And the puck finds its way down low where the Nordiques will pick it up with 5 seconds to go. Can they get a chance off here? Duck with it, turned over, and that will do it for the first period. That's not enough time for Spoon to complete that breakaway. All Nordiques for the first 20 minutes. 2 goals from that mighty Duck, and the Nords up 2-0 after the first 20 minutes.
Just got a nice little update as we have Prodigy. They are ahead 1-0 in their series right now, and that is going to be an absolute battle as they are playing against King of the Rink, as they won that first game 4-2, and with the Nordiques up here in the game we are watching 2-0.
Yeah, and that's a series that I know a lot of people were excited to see, so it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds against 2 top teams and top players. Obviously, King of the Rink, a lot of delusions influence, while Prodigy, being the team that they are, that is a championship contender no matter what tournament they enter to. So a lot of eyeballs on that series. It's going to be fun to see how that one unfolds in that best of 3. But obviously some business on our screen. The Quebec Nordiques up 2-0 over Detroit. And, you know, it's so interesting, Tegan. It feels like ever since Quebec went down 2-0 game 1, they've been really aggressive on the offensive attack.
So Detroit leading this series here 1-0. Nordiques backs against the wall. And it's going to be Mighty Duck who brings it in for the Nordiques. And this is great work here by them, but not if Spoon has anything to say, Brandon.
I tried to get that shot on that, and it trickles its way in. Wolf made the initial save, but could not get control of it between his pads. And, you know, they don't ask how, they ask how many. That's 1 in a 2-goal deficit for Detroit. They cut the deficit in half, and all of a sudden, they find their way back right into this game. And another chance here, can pack the backhand. Big save by Wolf to hold the lead for the Nordiques. Another one for their goaltender, stepping up big in this series for his team.
Brandon, was it a full moon last night, or is this guy just off the walls? What saves, as here comes Detroit again.
When some buzz, he howls, as Wolf with another big save right there. And, you know, it's been so interesting because we've obviously spent so much time talking about the 3 skaters for a lot of these teams, but the goaltenders can make such a big impact on these games with those big saves. That was one right there from Wolf, showing exactly why that is. As the puck is down low, that Mighty Duck will Kareem it, and he's going to take his time and try to break this out to see if Quebec can maybe get back to that 2-goal lead with 13 minutes to go.
Just another big reset, and we're going to pop over, do a little reset for ourselves here, Brandon. We're going to take a look at a little 2-box here. We've got a couple of games to show you, and I believe we are going to get Prodigy in game number 2. Looking to close out this series. Maybe the bus stops here.
Yeah, and the tying goal from Detroit on the top left of your screen. There was initial breakaway there from Spoon. A couple of big saves from Wolf, but the rebound popped out, found its way in, and all of a sudden, just like in game 1, from 2-0 to 2-2, a tie game midway through that game 2. Remember, Detroit up 1-0 in that series. A win puts them through the next round. While you said the bus might have stopped, well, the momentum is going a little bit again. That's Nuge with the 3rd goal for them. They cut that deficit down to 2 in that game on the bottom right of your screen.
The bus may be in the air, but the wheels are still moving, I guess, Brandon. Is in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It's a 5-3 game, 6 minutes, and Prodigy will be carrying on. And like you said, this is game 2 in round 2. Detroit leading this series and looking to force the Nordiques out as they were up 2-0.
Yeah, trying to move their way on to round 3, while on the bottom of your screen, didn't take long for Prodigy to find a response. We know how good they are at being able to come back and find a response when a team scores. They do so right there. The lead right back where it was as the goal goes for Prodigy. And that might just be what they needed to put this game away.
We've seen a lot of Prodigy. They're very good at 6s, and I want to say this, and this may be controversial, but I think they are just as good, if not better, at 3s. They really know how to work the puck around, and you know, when you get Dumo mixed with Cad and Polgs, it's just, they're almost unstoppable.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it's funny, what better way to rest your case well than Dumoulin scoring a goal to increase that lead to 4. So, I don't think that's too controversial of an opinion. Prodigy, obviously, a team that's very good in sixes, and obviously it took them a little bit of time to kind of become one of those top teams, being a lot of top ones players, but they have that skill up there with many of those sixes teams. It applies very well to threes with that extra space that we talked about. As the Buzz, with a breakaway, doesn't find its way in, hit off the post, but pops back out on the stick of HK, and now looks like that lead's going to be trimmed down a little bit for King of the Ring, but might be too little too late for them, unfortunately.
It might be too little too late, as the bus might be rolling out of the tournament and Prodigy possibly moving on to the next round. But Brandon, you've got the top left-hand corner and you're going to be fired up.
Oh man, indeed, as that series has been so fun. It's going to be a penalty shot. Can Wolf make another big save to keep this a tie game? And it was a shot on that backhand, but it hit the side of the cage, and we will remain at a 2-2 game with 48 seconds to go in the second.
Well, these two teams breaking bread with each other in the top left-hand corner, and they are stuck neck and neck as they're going to go into period 3, and we're kind of seeing the exact same game between these two teams that we saw here in game 1.
And not so fast. We're going to get a penalty shot for the Quebec Nordiques here, so maybe a chance here to swing that momentum. Benny is going to get an opportunity to give his team a lead going in to this period. As a forehand, nice little move, and a score. The captain and Benny makes this a 3-2 game, and that could be a momentum-shifting goal for the Nordiques.
Well, 1 second on the clock to go in to the second period. You know what? That guy's definitely got a Scuff controller in his hands, and so can you. It's time to give away a Scuff controller courtesy of Scuff Gaming and the amazing people at Caps Gaming, Brandon.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to win this one. The first of 2 giveaways. We're going to be doing another one at 6 Eastern. So if you don't win this one, don't hang your head too low. Another chance to win one in a little bit over an hour's time, as we are about to give away our first of 2 Scuff Gaming controllers here in a matter of moments. It's going to be interesting as we get our winner coming in right now. We announce that here in just a few seconds, and always so fun to be able to give these away. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to win the first of 2.
Here we go, Brandon. Our first controller is going to go to Bills_39, as there he is in the chat with a big nice congratulations, Bill. And we're going to go right. We're going to go right back.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, congrats to him. We're going to go right back into the game, Brandon. Caps there in the chat congratulating you. I'm sure they'll get in touch with you as we'll find out from behind the scenes how that's going to happen. And we're going to go right back into the game here. Third period, Brandon, 3-2.
That's a big goal at the end of the period from Benny for Quebec, and gives them that lead as Detroit trying to find the answer. Couldn't get the offensive zone face-off. And Benny will work it up. Trying to find an option, finds a little bit of space, gives it over to Duck. Duck tried to pass that over, but couldn't get it to go.
As Brandon, we got to say, good congratulations to Bills39. And make sure to DM the Caps Gaming Twitter, Bills. That's at Caps Gaming to claim your prize.
Absolutely is. We will, like we said, do one more giveaway. It's a chance here on a breakaway. Spoon takes his time. Poke check, flying poke works for Wolf. A big save there to keep the lead for the Nordiques. And they're going to have a chance to counter. Looking for a nice little spin move. Tries to pass it over. Couldn't get on that rebound. Pops out, swallowed up, and freeze. And everyone can take a sigh of relief if you're Detroit, because that was a dangerous chance there.
Very dangerous chance, and Wolf and the Nordiques have been holding on strong here, Brandon. They really want to get themselves to a game 3 here in round 2, but not if Detroit has anything to say about it as they come down.
Boom with a shot on that, but it was saved off of the blocker, and now here's a quick chance here for Quebec. Tried to Omaha that one on down, but to no avail as Campagna will move it up and give it over to Spoon. Spoon with it, passes it over to the boards. Back down the spoon, down low. Shot on that, finds its way past Wolf in the 5-hole, and it's a tie game once again. These two teams cannot be separated.
That is pretty amazing to see all the gorgeous saves that Wolf made, Brandon, and one coming out from the corner beats him 5-hole and trickles in. We've got ourselves an even game with 10 minutes to go here, as we just found out that Prodigy is confirmed going into round 3 versus the underdog. So we'll stay tuned with that. And as my old coach would have said, we got 8 minutes. If we would have known, Brandon, we could have started here.
Absolutely. And Detroit trying to find their way into the next round as well. It's a tie game. Remember, they're up 1-0 in this series. They can find the goal and hold on to the lead. They will move on, while Quebec trying to push this to a third game. We'll see which side will prevail with a little bit over 6 minutes to go in the third. Moving his way up is Duck. Tried to get a shot on net, but didn't go off cleanly. Nice defensive play from Elton. As the puck will move over to his stick, and he'll break it out here for this Detroit team with 5 to go. Compacted a nice little play. Has it up. Nice job, and it's over to Spoon for the score. A 2-on-1 one-time play converts, and Detroit may have found the goal to move them in the round 3, but there's a lot of time left, Tegan.
Well, just like that, Brandon, I said it earlier in the cast, these goals can happen so quick, can't they? 2 huge goals from Detroit, and now it's Nordiques who are looking to have to come back in this 4-3 game. And Detroit, if they win this, Nordiques are taking the bus home.
We'll see if they can close this out. 3 minutes to go. Quebec trying to find the tying answer. Pushing into game 3. Couldn't get it on. Has the space. There. It's a breakaway. Spoon and Wolf. Forehand. Saved by Wolf on the glove with 1.5 minutes to go. Maybe that's what the Nordiques needed. Icing warning. The Nords will not beat it. And it will go into the Detroit offensive zone with 76 seconds remaining in this game.
With 76 seconds remaining, and Nordiques need to get the puck down in the offensive zone. They need to rely on Wolf, but do their best here to get it down.
Less than a minute to go. Real-time minute. Detroit looking to hold on and move on to round 3. Quebec trying to push this to overtime and then to a game 3. Detroit with it. 45 seconds. Shot on that, Wolf with the save, but the rebound pops out, and Elton at the right place at the right time might have just sent his team to round 3 with a second unanswered goal. A huge win for Detroit, and they're up 5-3 with a little over 40 seconds to go.
Well, what a pass that was. Great stuff here by Detroit. As we haven't seen that yet, have we, Brandon? That pass actually goes off the goaltender's pad, a little rebound out. He doesn't have the pass through. That is just gorgeous stuff. Guys, we are in round 2. We want to remind you, Brandon, there's 5 total rounds, right? And round 4 and 5 will be best of 5, as these are best of 3s all the way into round 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, as Detroit might be on their way to round 3. We'll see if they can do it. Quebec does have a little bit of time. Like we've mentioned, 3 is its easiest score if you win that time span, but they're going to have to act quickly. We will be covering the third round here today, round 4 and 5, the semifinals and finals, right here tomorrow at twitch.tv/Capitals. Detroit maybe trying to find their way here tomorrow. They'll have to hold on for the next 35.5 seconds as they'll win the offensive or the defensive zone face-off. A Spoon 2-on-0 with Elton. Backhand, he scores! And Spoon with a spoonful of goals here in the third period. And you gotta feel for Wolf because he's played so well, but Detroit not to be denied here in this one.
Doesn't matter if he's playing hockey or playing the spoons. He's making a lot of noise here in the rink. It's 6-3. That's his 4th of the game. And well, Detroit looks like they're going to be moving on here, Brandon, into round 3. Our last round of best of 3s and our last round of today.
Yeah, remember, 4 unanswered goals in this third period. Quebec took the 3-2 lead on the Benny penalty shot, and ever since then, it has been all LG Detroit in this one. As a 3-goal lead with just 21.5 seconds to go. Gotta assume they will hold on to this one, but nevertheless, definitely were battle-tested despite the score.
Yeah, they were. And how about the comeback by Detroit? As we want to remember, the Nordiques were actually up 2-0 in this game, Brandon.
Yeah, that's very true. So one team able to complete the comeback in game two, the other not able to in game one. Both times advantage Detroit. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe Detroit can use this momentum and get things going for themselves.
As we get a little face-off here, Brandon. How about Wolf? Wolf played absolutely fantastic for the Nordiques, but just wasn't able to pull out the W. Detroit was just too strong.
That's a big save there by Sandy in the last few seconds. Quebec trying to maybe put one on the board, a little bit of window dressing, but not going to be able to as LG Detroit, they were down 2-0, down 2-3, but a dominant third period, see themselves win this one 6-3 and moving on the third round. And what a game, what a series this was, Tegan. A really tight one between these two sides. Couldn't have asked for much more of an entertaining series than we got.
We definitely couldn't have asked for much more, and it sounds like we've got everything updated, Brandon, and it is going to be amazing games. That game was fantastic. Detroit doing a very good job coming back against the Nordiques, really putting their foot on the gas, and that is really, I think that's going to be our quote of the tournament here, is every single team has been doing more offensive than defensive. Why don't we pop over and take a look at the bracket now to see who's left here in round number 3, Brandon?
Absolutely, and we can kind of get a look at some of the matchups that have finished their way off and see what we can look forward to in round 3. As we mentioned earlier, Prodigy a sweep over King of the Rink 2-0. So we said they'd be a team to look out for, proving that in a tough second round series. On the other side, we saw earlier Underdogs over That's a Minus, a sweep in that series as well. Those two teams, Prodigy and Underdogs, will be playing each other. That's going to be a really interesting series to look out for.
Definitely is. And then we get further down, we're gonna have I believe that is Red Light going against I3HL and Arctica, which is going to be a great series. Red Light coming through the Blues Brothers, and then Kingdom just taking on Detroit, as well as we look even further down as Detroit just finished their game up against the Nordiques, and that LG Detroit against Kingdom is going to be a great battle. And we have one more amazing battle even further down there, Brandon.
Yeah, Unknown Talent and THB. And, you know, it's interesting because obviously we kind of got to look at THB earlier. Looks dominant so far, probably the most impressive team so far that we have seen throughout this tournament between them and Prodigy. But how about Unknown Talent as well? They were pushed to 3 versus Quality, but found a way to win. And these are two teams in Unknown Talent and THB that are rather familiar with each other from the 6's side. So now we see them kind of transition over to the 3 side, and they'll meet here yet again in the Caps Gaming 3's Challenge in round 3.
Something that's very interesting is you just got to call it out. Something I know from a little bit of insight, the Helmet Boys and Unknown Talent, a lot of West guys on those squads, they are going to play East. So it is just the game within the game that carries on here at this amazing Caps Gaming 3's Challenge, Brandon.
Yeah, so many factors, so many things that can go into these different matchups and series. So that's going to be something to look out for, and probably one of the better series maybe in terms of matchups. Obviously, THB, they've been so good in this series through this tournament so far, but Unknown Talent, a team with a lot of talent that might not be so unknown as the name might suggest. You know, guys like Josh and Perksy and Husky, a really reliable goalie in net. This is a team that could maybe surprise some and make a run, just like maybe the Helmet Boys have so far through the first couple of rounds.
I know what I'm going to be doing after this. It's going to be making a run to my local McDonald's. And if you're feeling the same way I am, make sure you grab yourself a 20-piece chicken nuggets and 2 large fries for just $9.99 in the McDonald's app. This offer, guys, it's only valid through the duration of the 3's Challenge. That's going to be today and tomorrow at your participating McDonald's throughout the DC, Baltimore, and Eastern Shore areas. We just want to give a huge thank you and a big shout out to McDonald's DMV.
Absolutely. And, you know, obviously, you know, got to get a good meal in you. And what better than, you know, a nice box of chicken nuggets, a few fries. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to give me a nice little meal after this one. But nevertheless, not only are we have a nice deal from our friends at McDonald's, but, you know, we have some good games going on as well. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We might have a few of our matchups ready to go here in just a few minutes as we get things kicked off with round 3. And, you know, now, Tegan, we're kind of at that point. You know, a few of our teams had to go through round 1, a few had to bye, but got their way through round 2. But I feel like when you enter that round 3 point, this is when you kind of start to feel like, hey, maybe we can win this thing.
And now, as we dive into round three, we're going to deep dive into four games at once, Brandon. What we are known for is they are in their respected lobbies and ready to go. As you see the top left hand corner of your screen, the Helmet Boys against Unknown Talent, bottom right hand corner, Prodigy and Underdogs getting underway. And just as we say that, Antarctica going against Red Light.
Absolutely, and this is our first look at Red Light here, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see how things go. As these are our final four matchups, so we're going to see the entirety of the rest of our round three bracket play out here right in front of us. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe a few of these teams we didn't really get to look at can kind of impress us a little bit. Obviously, we know Red Light a little bit from the Sixes side, I3HLA Antarctica, maybe a little bit more unfamiliar, but we've seen a few teams we aren't familiar with kind of show out. As how about McClutch for THB on the top left of your screen, getting the scoring started there in game one of that series?
How about the Helmet Boys? These guys are putting on an absolute show, almost as good as a show as our behind-the-scenes producer, Nick F5 DeMeo, as he is just absolutely crushing it with these four boxes. Brandon, hockey, hockey, hockey.
Yeah, just amazing production behind the scenes, and it's been so fun to kind of see all of this unfold. So much action in each game going on, and obviously, like we mentioned, so many implications as well with the way that the bracket can shake out. As we see Prodigy and Underdogs on the bottom right and top left, Unknown Talent and THB as our other two matchups. Still getting things underway as Kingdom and LG Detroit. Puck drop going to be there in about a minute and some change, so we'll have some action on the top right, or the top right as well here in just a few minutes. But it's going to be interesting to see how this thing goes, because obviously THB impressive, Unknown Talent impressive. Now, like I said, you kind of get to that point to where you are to where you can kind of feel where you can really win this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly right here, Brandon, is we're getting games at different times. How about Prodigy coming in and getting a massive goal as they go up 1-0? And the Helmet Boys obviously up 1-0 as well. So two teams that we knew were going to be very, very good come out with 1-0 leads. You see Detroit going against Kingdom in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Detroit obviously coming against the Nordiques and winning that game. Kingdom against LEH, and that was a battle. Kingdom lost their first game, so this is a very even matchup as they get themselves started and underway. And then we have the Helmet Boys and Unknown Talent. Unknown Talent and the Helmet Boys, they know each other very well. I spoke about how they do have some relations on the west side of things. So they do maybe know how each other plays here. And we're going to see a possible break for Detroit as Spoon. He's been very good for Detroit in the top right-hand corner of your screen. And he continues to do throughout this tournament. These guys, we want to remind you, this is the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge. As Brandon, what a game this has been, all four on the screen, and they are all tight as can be.
Yeah, 1-0 in two of our matchups. THB up in their series, and they're going to get a second goal. It's like these teams hear us sometime, Tegan, as they're going to increase their lead to 2 there over Unknown Talent. A big goal there for THB, and how good have they been at getting these early leads?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I just am very, very impressed with the Helmet Boys. I'm very, very excited. I don't want to jinx them and say to see what they can do tomorrow, Brandon. But if they keep playing like this, they'll definitely be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I bet they wish they could go ahead and wrap this whole thing up today, but obviously, like we mentioned, round 4 and 5 right here tomorrow, so there will be more action after today, and, THB, like you said, with the way they're playing, could very well see themselves through, but have to close the deal in this best-of-3 series versus Unknown Talent, still in game 1, and we mentioned Unknown Talent, a good team. A lot of time for them to mark a comeback, so we'll see if they can do so. While on the bottom right, looks like Prodigy found a way to score 2-0 over the Underdog. So we're seeing a lot of action. Went from 2 1-0 games to 2-2-0 scores, and we're not done. Top right of the screen, Detroit, LG Detroit, with a penalty shot. As that Spoon with it, it's going to be a big save there for Kingdom to keep that one in a tie game.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, as you are seeing the gentleman stand there and be patient there as they are waiting for red light, you have another goal from the Helmet Boys.
Yeah, how about that? One red light to the other. How about THB again, McClutch, with all three goals, a hat trick for him in the first period. A great, great performance for THB continues. The unknown talent looking to find answers to stop what is, we talked about a bus, how about a train for THB, an unstoppable force in this tournament so far.
Yeah, unstoppable force. It's almost like that should be their new team name here, Brandon, as we get a goal in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Ulmer scores for Kingdom.
And how about Kingdom? Ulmer with the goal, as you mentioned. Obviously, he's a guy that has plenty of talent, well known on the one side, well known on threes and sixes as well, proving why he is one of the better players in this tournament with a goal for Kingdom to get the opening mark in that series. So LG Detroit, they had to come back in their game two to get to this point. Gonna have to do so again here, but it's still early, a lot of time to go. And that is another goal right after, as yeah, that's gonna trickle in past Sandy, and then right next to them, McClutch will not stop scoring, a fourth goal for him, and now it is the Helmet Boys in full control of that game.
Are they ever in full control? And I don't know if you saw that goal in the top right-hand corner of your screen where that one kind of just trickled in for Kingdom, and now they're just pouring on the momentum.
Absolutely. So LG Detroit trying to maybe put a halt to that momentum a little bit. It's like they had that penalty shot and maybe felt like they could get the momentum going for themselves, but a big save from the Kingdom goaltender, and then all of a sudden, it's been all Kingdom since then. It's a breakaway chance for them here. That's Joss put it on that rebound. Another save, however, from Sandy to keep this at a 2-goal deficit. Breakaway chance now. I believe that Spoon could and get past, and it is going to be a huge save there. I thought there could have been a penalty shot potentially due to that notification, but it's going to be a save and a stoppage of play to keep this at a 2-goal game.
And it's pretty interesting to see here, Brandon, is all these goals are only coming from one team in all the games.
Yeah, you know, it's not often you kind of see that. Obviously, you never know what can happen when you have so many games going on at the same time, but a lot of shutout play, and it looks like unknown talent going to maybe try to put a halt to that. They're going to get a penalty shot on the top left of your screen.
And the penalty shot is needed. Maybe this will help them build the momentum, Brandon.
Yeah, so they're going to go backhand, and it's going to be a score there. So unknown talent finds a way. Another penalty shot right next to them. A patient play from Joss gets past Sandy, and another score for Kingdom, who have really taken a grasp at the momentum. So 2 penalty shots on the top of your screen, both left and right, both converted successfully. So Kingdom extends their lead. Unknown talent cuts into their deficit.
Yeah, it's been a hard battle here for unknown talent, and they have a huge hill to climb, and they are playing against a team that is playing very, very well in the Helmet Boys, and they have really, really just been pouring it on here. That's obviously a great penalty shot goal to build the momentum, but a 4-1 game in threes, it can be eaten up pretty quickly here if unknown talent gets on their horse.
Absolutely. So we'll see if that penalty shot was what they needed to kind of turn the tides a little bit with 20 minutes to go in game one, as the Helmet Boys, we've mentioned, have been so dominant so far. And it looks like on the bottom left of your screen, we're going to get some action going between I3HL Antarctica and Red Light. So all 4 games going to be underway here in a few minutes.
All right, so 3-0 there you see in the top right-hand corner of your screen. How about Prodigy down here in the bottom right?
Yeah, Prodigy is obviously a team that has been pegged as one of the favorites coming into this tournament for reasons that don't need too much explaining. One of the top teams, but a chance here for the underdogs, and they will get a score. They'll cut that deficit down to 1, and it's a 2-1 game with 3:20 to go.
Well, it looks like a big celebration coming out in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen as the bench clears there for the underdogs. And just like that, a 1-goal game against a very good Prodigy team. Well, puck is going to be brought in. You see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, good puck movement by the Helmet Boys. They continue to pour that puck on.
As Unknown Talent and THB in the third period, things have kind of stagnated a little bit in that game. Unknown Talent needing to maybe get something going as they try to work the puck in. Third period in that game, about to enter the third period in the game on the bottom right of your screen as a chance for Prodigy there at the end, but a sharp save to keep this at a 2-1 game going to the next period. And, it's been kind of interesting, Tegan. We've seen a lot of things kind of going on, but one game only in that really kind of tight stage, which is Prodigy and Underdogs.
Yeah, and there's going to be all needing tight saves down in that game. Prodigy, usually a team that really pours on the goals here, but they're being kind of shut down by this Underdogs team.
Yeah, which has been kind of interesting. Obviously, Underdogs got here from defeating That's a Minus, looked pretty solid in that series, and maybe a team that was a little bit underrated coming in, but making a statement against a top Prodigy team. We'll see if maybe they can find their way back into this game as face-off going to be won by Prodigy. They're going to work their way in the offensive zone, got a quick chance, but couldn't get it to go, and that's what Prodigy is so good at, just using those quick opportunities and making the most of them right there. As Underdogs trying to get a counterattack. Nice little move. It was a 1-on-2, but created some space. Couldn't get a clean look on net, though, despite the nice move, and Underdogs going to have to try to find another option. Puck goes over to Prodigy, and they're going to go back and try to find something themselves as a little bit under 60 minutes to go in that game. 7 minutes to go on the game top left between Unknown Talent and THB. We're in midway second period between Kingdom and Detroit. But looks like we're going to go to a 2-box here in a few moments to feature two of our games. It's a breakaway chance stopped by Sandy at the top right. A big save there from the Detroit goaltender to maybe keep this game a little bit tighter than what it would have been.
Yeah, we want to give you the best and the most hockey as we can. And as soon as the Helmet Boys wraps up their game, and it looks like they probably will be doing so, we'll have a look at the other two that are still alive here, Brandon. And Prodigy's got some work to do.
Yeah, and, speaking of Prodigy, we looked at the right side of the board, right above them, Kingdom with a 4th goal in the late stages of the second period. So obviously, Detroit, who were in striking distance, going to have to climb a little bit further than they were at first. It's a big save on the bottom of your screen for the Underdogs, keeps this one at a 1-goal game, and they're going to look to counter, using that speed, trying to go fast. And they find their way in the offensive zone, trying to find the tying answer. A big save there for Prodigy. They're going to play that one out in rapid-paced action throughout all of our games here. So we're going to move to our 2-box coverage. As you see some of the scores on your screen before we do move to that.
It's still a 2-1 game, and Kingdom comes in and makes it 4-0 here.
As there is the 2-box. So Prodigy and Underdogs top left. The beginning of the Red Light and I3HL Antarctica series on the bottom. So both of these two games are game 1s in round 3. 7:56 to go on the top left. Prodigy up 2-1. Defensive zone face-off for them successfully won. Dumoulin taking his time up the ice, looking for an option, gives it up to Cad. Cad with it. Nice little spin move, but nice defense there from Underdogs, keeping that one at bay. Gets it right back. Cad with a shot. Couldn't get it past. Got it back. Pulls with it up to Dumoulin. Shot on that, blocked in front, and it'll be picked up by the Underdogs, and they'll try to counter.
Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Brandon, it looks like we've got a huge goal here, and this could have at least a little bit of implications, as that's a big early goal.
Yeah, Red Light going to get on the board early there, and, that's a team that we also talked about a little bit, maybe being a team that could come home with a championship. Well known on the Sixers side, like a few of these teams are, making their entrance here once again on the 3 side. So, a nice start for them, but looks like Antarctica going to get a chance to respond. They're going to get a penalty shot.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a careless penalty, isn't it? His stick gets caught loose. We'll see what they get here.
Yeah, so a penalty shot is going to be a save there for Red Light. So it's going to maintain a 1-goal lead for them as we're going to switch over to the Prodigy Underdogs game here. 2-1 late third period. Prodigy up. Underdogs trying to find the tying goal. Underdogs in the offensive zone, looking for something here. Real-time 38 seconds here on your screen. Working in the offensive zone. Nice defense there from Cad at the point, not allowing anything shot on net. Doesn't really make anything dangerous. And Dumoulin taking his sweet time, just letting that clock drain, and Underdogs got to attack a little bit here. Polk's with it. Looking for something. Rings it around the boards, and nice possession game here so far for Prodigy. So letting that time tick down. Nice hit, and they're going to pull the goalie. Underdogs, last gasp. Working it up, the boards, pass in front, nothing there. Pulls, works it down, and it's going to be a clear path for Dumoulin to get it, and that should do it. He's just going to hold on to it, and Prodigy take game one over Underdogs 2-1, despite the valiant effort Underdogs showed there at the end. Hold on to that lead, and will lead this series going into game two.
That was a great game by Prodigy here, Brandon, as they come through and get themselves a strong W. And it was almost the other team that was able to come back there, but they held on to a 1-goal deficit as the top right-hand corner, Kingdom, still laying it down. The Helmet Boys did win their game 5-1, so they are 1 win away from semifinals. And then you still have Red Light in the bottom left-hand corner, up 1-0 on Antarctica.
Yeah, and obviously Kingdom looking primed to take that game one over LG Detroit, as that's in the third period, but a solid lead for Kingdom. Got another goal when we were covering that other series. So 6-0 lead for them with 14:40 to go. Red Light obviously up 1-0, as you mentioned, with a few minutes to go in the first, but Antarctica trying to find an answer. They do right there, and just like that, a tie game in the late stages of the first period. One apiece between those two sides.
1-1 hockey game between these two. We're going to deep dive into this game as it is heating up with a huge save by Red Light's goaltender, but they score on the other side, Brandon.
And how about that? We were just talking about the first goal. We switched their game, and Antarctica saying, hey, now, we're not done. A second goal for them in a matter of moments, and all of a sudden, they're leading this game, Tegan, and that's what we talk about with threes. Things can change in a matter of moments.
Yeah, things can change at the flip of a coin. Antarctica, just like that, now up 2-1, was just down 1-0. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Both goals by the left defenseman, Melvin. And the Antarctica, I3HL Antarctica looking good, but a turnover here, a chance for Red Light to tie it up. Couldn't get the backhand. A nice flying poke check save there from the goaltender to keep that lead.
Sorry about that. McDonald's DMV fry stuck in the windpipe there mid-cast, and we're gonna see Red Light come out 3-on-2 here if they're quick.
Yeah, chance for Red Light, and a snipe from Skillsy. What a play! And it's a tie game, and it's tied in style. Red Light make it 2-2.
Red Light does make it 2-2, and what a back and forth hockey game this has been here, Brandon. And if I have a feeling, it is going to be just like that.
That's the right place, right time in front of the net. Antarctica wasting no time to get their lead back. 3-2 now in favor of them. We also have two of our other series in their game twos starting back up. THB and Unknown Talent starting up in a matter of moments. Prodigy and Underdogs starting up in a matter of moments as well. Both of those teams up 1-0 in their series. If they win this game too, move on to the semifinals tomorrow.
We're going to pop back over to all the hockey that you can handle here, Brandon. We've got a big goal at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and top left.
Yeah, and I'll be Underdogs getting a goal. It's interesting because they were not up at all in the first game. They find the first goal in this one to take the lead really early in the first period, just 3 minutes in. So Underdogs changing their tides, and Unknown Talent on the top left doing the same thing. A goal a minute into the first period there. So both teams that dropped game one starting out firing off in game two.
Just an absolute battle. And look at this back and forth game in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen as Antarctica now have 3-2 on Red Light as we saw that late period goal, and Underdogs and Unknown Talent. So a little bit of a script flipped here in these games.
Absolutely. And, we're all for it. It brings that entertainment value. Obviously, Caps Gaming 3's Challenge, plenty of entertainment. We saw it on the Xbox One side, and to say the least, the Xbox Series X and S side has not disappointed either. There's so many great games and series, and as we mentioned a few times, make sure to tune in again right here tomorrow at twitch.tv/Capitals for our semifinals and finals coverage. There's a goal on the bottom right of your screen. That's CAD tying this game up for Prodigy versus Underdogs.
That's A huge goal by Prodigy to tie that up. And guys, we got to give a big thank you to the Capitals and Caps Gaming. Make sure you head over on Twitter and give them a follow, as Instagram as well, as they're at Caps Gaming.
Absolutely, just amazing stuff here. The things that they have been doing with NHL esports, seeing it grow the way it has. Caps Gaming, one of the teams that have been out in the front of that, as there's another goal for I3HL Antarctica. Kessel second to increase their lead to 2 over Red Light.
As we're
Already
like,
shot on the bottom right as well, and that's going to be a save there for the underdogs.
a big save there for the underdogs, and they are just holding on with everything they have here against a very strong Prodigy team, as we now see Kingdom and Detroit get themselves underway once again.
Yeah, and Kingdom and Detroit, that's going to be interesting. Kingdom with a commanding 6-0 victory in game 1. LG Detroit trying to find an answer to get themselves back into the series. Going to have to find some goals and a few defensive plays. A big save bottom right of your screen in favor of the underdogs. It was a great set play for Prodigy, but a better save in net. Is so much action going on, and it's almost hard to keep track, but so fun to keep a track of and so fun to watch.
Absolute blast. Top right, you're seeing Kingdom get started with Detroit. Kingdom up 1-0 there, and it looks like we've got a couple of games 1-0 here for Unknown Talent.
Yeah, and Unknown Talent obviously trying to push this to a game 3, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold to that 1-0 lead. A goal for the Helmet Boys, so it's going to be tied at 1-1. So 2 1-1 games in our series. Prodigy and the Helmet Boys both find tying answers. It's a big save there, bottom left.
Yeah, I was just going to point that out with a massive save in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. As it's just as much hockey as you can hold on to here. And how about that Prodigy Underdogs game?
Yeah, that's maybe been one of the closer matchups so far. Obviously, the result being rather close 2-1 in game 1, but you can just kind of look at that game and just the way these two teams are playing one another. Not really a lot of opportunities that have just been able to be capitalized on, and not from lack of trying. The goaltending from both of these two sides have just been absolutely amazing, and some of the defensive play as well. As Prodigy had a chance there maybe late, but not enough time to convert, as that's going to be 1-1 at the end of the second, and it looks like Helmet Boys and Unknown Talent could very well see the same result. So 2 games tied at 1 apiece at the end of the first period, as we are in round 3 of the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge, presented by our friends at McDonald's DMV. Winners of all of these series will move on tomorrow. Penalty shot top right of your screen for Kingdom, as he could not convert. A big save there from Sandy, goaltender for LG Detroit, to keep this game at bay, 0 apiece.
Yeah, and I think as we get further into the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge, we're going to see things start to tighten up a little bit, eh, Brandon? As what a goal by Detroit in the top right-hand corner. Catches the goaltender sleeping on the Omaha play, and Spoon scores again.
And you know, it's been Spoon, I feel like, often coming up with these big goals for Detroit. We saw it in their series against the Nordiques. He comes up with a big goal once again right there. So it's going to be interesting how Kingdom responds, as LG Detroit, a team that didn't find a goal in that first game, get the opening goal in game 2, trying to get another, and they do right there. A great cross-crease play over to Elton, and all of a sudden, LG Detroit seizing the momentum early here in their game 2 matchup.
Well, kind of putting Kingdom on a little bit of a back burner here, is 2 big goals by Detroit, and quickly, as we have a 1-1 game. Just kidding. That's going to be a 2-1 game, as Cad comes out and scores for Prodigy.
How many times have we said that over the years, Tegan? A goal from Cad for Prodigy, and he comes up with another one. Can be 6s, can be 3s, doesn't matter. He's always going to be a guy that can put the puck in net, and that one right there gives them a lead. It's a goal right next to them. I3HL Antarctica, yet again, another goal for them. 3 unanswered versus Red Light, a 5-2 lead, and Kessel gets his hat-trick to boot, and right after that, top right, a goal for Kingdom to cut their lead down, or cut their deficit rather, down to 1 versus LG Detroit.
That's what Kingdom needs, is they did win game number 1. They are up in this series, Brandon, 1-0. So still looking to pour that on. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you're noticing a timeout being called by the underdogs, as Prodigy scores back-to-back goals in their game.
Yeah, and something interesting with that Prodigy Underdogs matchup is you're seeing the possession game being more played than shots on net. Only 4 shots for both sides so far. So kind of interesting to see how these two teams have played. It's been a rapid pace, but not a lot of shots on. The Helmet Boys with a breakaway, backhand, forehand, but a nice job from unknown talent, not allowing that one to be too dangerous. Not sure if that was a save or went off the side of the net, but a nice chance nevertheless from THB. Right below
THB,
them, a
this
big
is
save.
Brandon. I was going to say THB. This is only the only game they really have been kind of held to. Every other game has been an absolute blowout. They've really been pouring it on, but this one they've been kind of slowed down here by unknown talent.
Yeah, and it's been pretty interesting because, like you said, we haven't seen THB tested too often. It'd be interesting to see how they handled as unknown talent, trying to push to get this to a game 3, down 1-0 in that series. Well, in the game next to them, another team trying to push a third game, LG Detroit. They get a third goal and they get their lead back to 2 on the stick of Spoon.
Just like that, the team that never gave up against the Nordiques is doing it once again in the top right-hand corner of your screen, trying to force a game 3 in these best of 3. Tomorrow we'll take off with a best of 5.
Absolutely. This is going to be interesting to see how that unfolds as well with the 2 more games potentially for each side. But nevertheless, you got to get there first. And we have 4 teams trying to punch their ticket to do so. Obviously, I3HL Antarctica and Red Light in their first game, but Antarctica with a nice 3-goal lead to start out. THB up 1-0 in their series in a tie game. Prodigy up 1-0 in their series with the lead. And Kingdom, though, up 1-0 in their series, down 3-1 in game 2. So we'll see if they can come back and maybe close the series out. It's a chance for them, but just went wide past Sandy as they're trying to maybe mark a comeback there on the top right.
Yeah, and they definitely need one. It is only the first period here, a 3-1 game in the top right-hand corner of your screen, Brandon. So a lot of time for Kingdom to come back if needed.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things to where Kingdom, obviously a team that were tested early from LEH, so obviously not unfamiliar territory to have to maybe go through a little bit of adversity and claw their way back, but they were able to do so successfully to get to this point. It's a breakaway chance for LG Detroit. Goes forehand, beautifully read, however, from the Kingdom goaltender. A nice job there to keep this one at a 2-goal lead from Detroit, and if Kingdom can find their way back, that could be the save to remember.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, remember that one if this game gets tied up, Brandon. Prodigy still doing a good job of holding the underdogs to a 2-1 game here, and we haven't seen much action in the top left-hand corner of your screen, as this one looks like it's going to be tied going into the third period.
Yeah, and it's funny because I kind of saw it earlier. The time to mention it never really came up, but in that first period, the shots were only 1-3. So the defense and goaltending have more start to show in that game so far. And 1-1 with 1.1 left, the scoreboard is kind of co-excited with that.
Yeah, it definitely has. And what a great game here by Cad for Prodigy in the bottom right here. He's come in, he's scored both goals for Prodigy, trying to make sure there is no game 3 for them.
Yeah, and obviously the underdogs trying to find a way to come back. A team that did so well in the second round, trying to maybe find a way to upset Prodigy, a team that, like we've mentioned, could be seen as one of the favorites, but a penalty shot on the bottom left for Skillsy. Red Light trying to saw into that deficit a little bit, a chance for them to do so on the bottom left of your screen. We'll see if they can. There's a chance on top right, a big save, however, and a goal for Red Light on that penalty shot that we talked about from Skillsy. So 5-3 now. Game gets a little bit tighter on the bottom left between them and I3HL Antarctica.
A little bit tighter for sure, Brandon. That gives them a definite opportunity to come out. We want to remind you, this a game in the bottom left-hand corner. It is still game number 1. All other games in game number 2 is the Helmet Boys are up 1-0 on unknown talent. Kingdom is up 1-0 on Detroit in their series. And in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Prodigy is up 1-0 in their series, but also up 2-1 in the game. And I believe, Brandon, we're going to have a penalty shot in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, that's right. I3HL Antarctica, after giving up a penalty shot, are going to get one of their own to maybe try to make up for it a little bit. There's a little bit under 3 minutes to go in that game. If they're able to convert, that could very well be what puts the dagger in the hearts of Red Light, at least for this game 1. As up 5-3, 3 minutes to go. If they're able to make it 6-3, you have to assume they'll be able to close it out as that penalty shot is underway. And it will be converted on right at the end. That's Melvin's third goal. A breakaway top right as well, but a big save there from the Kingdom goaltender to keep that at a 2-goal lead. But I3HL Antarctica up 6-3 now. Should be able to close that out with 2:10 to go in the third.
Yeah. Antarctica has been doing an absolutely fantastic job in this game against Red Light. With about a minute to go here, it's going to be wrapped up.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to go to the 2 box here. THB and Unknown Talent, Prodigy and Underdogs as we wrap up this I3HL Antarctica Red Light game in the last 40 seconds.
So, Brandon, still the Helmet Boys and Unknown Talent. That is a very, very tough 1-to-1 battle. And we've got a goal in the top right-hand corner of your screen as it looks like Detroit has come out and made that 4-1. So, it's looking like we have two very, very tight games between the Helmet Boys, Unknown Talent, Prodigy, and the Underdogs.
Absolutely. So LG Detroit with a big fourth goal, with Kingdom trying to maybe get some momentum going for themselves. They make it 4-1, and Kingdom gonna have to really try to claw their way back. And a goal bottom right for Prodigy, but it looks like that one's going to be called off. As, like we said, we're gonna go to the 2 box here in just a few moments, watching the end of that game on your bottom left, as I3HL Antarctica will seal the deal over the team of Red Light. A 6-3 victory for them, and I3HL Antarctica, maybe a team slept on, but next to them, a breakaway couldn't get it to go, however, was CAD, and that was a potential chance to really open things up for Prodigy, who were up 3-1 already in the third.
All right, Brandon, let's get a closer look at these two games that are very, very tight, as we're going to have on the big screen on your left-hand side, Prodigy against Underdogs 3-1, and bottom right-hand corner, you have the Helmet Boys against Unknown Talent.
Yeah, and both of these matchups very close, and both of these with the potential to maybe see their series end with the way they're going, as we're in the last minute on the bottom right of your screen, tie game 1-1. THB up 1-0 in that series, keep in mind. So if they can find the next goal, it could be the one to put them in to the semifinals. So Prodigy up by 2, 5 minutes to go. We'll see if maybe they can close this out and move on to the semis as well, as they have the puck and are moving up the ice, while on the bottom right, 44 seconds to go, THB trying to do the same. They'll move it up the right side, and will be stuffed right there at the blue line with 35 seconds to go. And it's interesting, Tegan, so much going on and so many implications as well.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Just to remind everybody, if Prodigy wins in the top left-hand corner, they move on to tomorrow semifinals. And in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Brandon, you get a goal from the Helmet Boys.
How many times have I said this name? McCutch with the goal for THB, and he has just been all over the ice, it feels like, for this team. When THB has needed a goal, he's been the man on the receiving end for it, and that might just be the goal to send the Helmet Boys to the semifinals. But obviously, you gotta keep everything in front of you. Still some time left to see Unknown Talent respond potentially.
Yeah, they call him McCutch. Well, I call him McClutch, is what a goal that was. With under a minute to go, he could cash that in. 22 seconds of good hockey here, and we're going to have some smiles for the Helmet Boys.
Absolutely. It's dying seconds here between Prodigy and Underdogs. Underdogs need to act quickly, down by 2. And down 1-0 in this series. Like Tegan said, if Prodigy holds on, they move on to the semifinals, and it looks like they will. It's going to take a miracle and a prayer, but a breakaway here for Underdogs will not be able to convert on it. Went out of the net. Was the Prodigy goaltender to stop that? A little bit unconventional, but it did the job. And Prodigy sweep 2-0 over Underdogs, and will move on to tomorrow in the semifinals.
A little bit of shades of Dominic Hasek there as he chased him out on the breakaway. What a play by Prodigy's goaltender. Congratulations to them. They move on. The Helmet Boys move on. And both of them cashing their tickets into tomorrow, Brendan.
How about that, Tegan? It's so fun to kind of see all of this unfold at the same time. And, you know, we go back into the studio here. Brandon Bigsby, a.k.a. B Major. It's King Lime, Tegan Blair to the right of me. And, you know, it's so fun just seeing how that all played off. And obviously the Helmet Boys with that late goal to finish that off. And then obviously at the left side, Prodigy closing that out. And by the way, we're going to get to it after what we have to do with a little bit of a scuff talk, but Kingdom tied their game. So anyways, to the scuff giveaway, Tegan, we didn't just do one, we had two.
That's right. On the hour, guys, we're going to be doing not us, sorry. The Cabs gaming team will be giving away one more brand new Scuff gaming controller throughout today's stream, guys. It's going to be in about 15 minutes. All you need to do is type in the chat, ! giveaway here at twitch.tv/capitals, and we'll announce the winners in about 15 minutes, guys. But let's tune into a Kingdom game as we've got a tie matchup right ahead of us here.
Yeah, we talked about how Detroit was in a good position maybe to close it out. Well, from 4-1 to 4-4, Kingdom up 1-0 in that series, keep in mind. So if they can pull off this comeback, they will move on to the finals. It's a goal there! A huge goal! Kingdom now up 5-4. What a turnaround for this team!
Just a fresh reminder for everybody watching, Kingdom was down 4-1. That is 4 unanswered goals from Kingdom here in the third period. 10 minutes to go, Brandon, and they could be checking themselves in on a ticket to tomorrow.
With the goal to put Kingdom up, 4 unanswered for them with 8 to go, and now LG Detroit all of a sudden on their heels and backs against the wall. We'll see if they can respond. Chance in front. Big save there for Kingdom. And they're going to try to counter on the other end. Joss with it. Big hit there from Elton. And LG Detroit trying to find something. And packed with it over to Elton, over to Spoon. Spoon looking for some space. Tried to put it on, but could not. And it will be swallowed up. But then played back out in the last moment to Hayner. And with 5 minutes to go, Kingdom trying to hold on to a 5-4 lead. Beating the icing there. Hayner with it, put it on net, and shot, and it was rebounded out, but Spoon with it. Spoon with some space, a breakaway, can he get there? Flying pull, check, and saved. Another big save for Kingdom with 3 minutes to go.
Well, this has been absolutely a battle, but here it is. There's the big hit. It's a 3-on-2 the other way for Detroit, Brennan.
Elton taking it up. Nice little move, but couldn't beat the defender there of Joss. Joss will take it. 90 seconds now. Gives it up to Ulmer. Ulmer looking for some space, holds back and goes up, and he gives it over to his teammate and Hayner for the goal. And Kingdom might have just pulled off the comeback in the day. 6-4 lead and 57.5 seconds away from the semifinals.
Oh, that is phenomenal stuff. And a little bit of deja vu from Detroit there is that it's exactly the same goal that the center on Detroit got to put the dagger away. And now they're getting a bit of taste of their own medicine. It's going to be 1 minute remaining. Kingdom might find themselves in the semis tomorrow.
And they're not done. They're still applying the pressure, trying to get something going. And Detroit with a breakaway here. Spoon, backhand shot, but couldn't get it on. Looked like it was saved off the side of the pad, maybe helped from the post a little bit. As LG Detroit, 30 seconds left. They're going to probably look to maybe pull here if they can get out of their own zone. Joss with it. Kingdom doing a great job holding the possession. As LG Detroit will get it. Spoon rushing down the left boards. Gets hit, and here's Ulmer with a breakaway. 15 seconds left. Can he get it past Sandy? Does not able to do it. 9 seconds left, up by 2. They're holding the puck. Should be able to do it. A beautiful move, shot on that, saved by Sandy. But that is going to do it. From 4-1 down to a 6-4 victory. Kingdom marches their way to the semifinals, a 2-0 series victory. And in what fashion to do it but a comeback win here in Game 2.
What a game between Kingdom and Detroit. Kingdom obviously deserves that one, Brandon, as they come back from 4-1. It's threes. Anything can happen, especially here at the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge. We've got our 4 teams ready and locked in for tomorrow.
We talked about that, Tegan, how Kingdom is a team that it's a good squad. They played a lot of threes together, a team with a lot of chemistry, maybe a team that could be a favorite potentially to win it all. They proved why right there. As you mentioned, all 4 teams locked in. I3HL Antarctica win their series 2-0 over Red Light. So we have all of our teams for tomorrow in the semifinals locked in and ready to go. And we'll be right back here on twitch.tv/capitals. But before we do that, we have some business to take care of. Our Scuff giveaway, our second of the day. We had our first one to Bill's 39. Congratulations again to him, but we're gonna have one more lucky winner here for a Scuff gaming controller, Tegan, aren't we?
Right, guys, the Caps are giving away one more controller, and it's gonna happen right now. Make sure you hit exclamation point giveaway quickly in the chat before it's pulled here at twitch.tv/capitals, and you guys will have your hands on that gorgeous, gorgeous Scuff gaming controller as we figure out who's gonna get it, and it's gonna be Horn Rampage NHL, one of my good buddies, and it is going to be our announcement for our second winner. It is a Rampage. Make sure that you DM the Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming to claim your prize. It couldn't have went to anybody better, Brandon.
You love to see that, especially when you see one of the players that are, pretty active in the community. Always fun to see some of our guys in sixes coming in and tuning into these broadcasts. So congratulations there to Rampage, well deserved, and you just love to see that. And once again, a thanks to everyone at Caps Gaming and Scuff Gaming for allowing us to give away these controllers to our viewers here today. And just so much fun in our last few hours here, Tegan. Just a lot of fun between the giveaways and some of the action we saw, and now we kind of look forward to tomorrow. Our 4 teams are set, and we have some good matchups at hand.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I'm definitely gonna head down to McDonald's after this, and you guys can too, and grab yourself a 20-piece chicken nuggets and 2 large fries for the cheap price of $9.99 on the McDonald's app. This offer is only valid today and tomorrow, guys, on this 3 challenge, so get those nuggets in ya, and it is only at the participating McDonald's in the DC, Baltimore, and Eastern Shore areas. Big shout out and thank you to our amazing sponsor here, McDonald's DMV.
We will go back into the studio here, and like we were kind of saying there, Teague, and obviously just so much to kind of look forward to tomorrow with our 4 teams and our 2 matchups, and all of them I think rather well deserved. Obviously THB is so impressive throughout. I3HL, I think, really making a statement with some of their play, and then obviously a couple of the teams we expected with Prodigy and Kingdom making their wave as well.
Yeah, and we also want to give a huge shout out to Rivals and their mod and organizer team. We couldn't put on these amazing tournaments without them as well. So a huge thank you to everybody behind the scenes, and as well the amazing Nick F5 Penguin DeMeo. As let's pop over, Brandon, as you said it, we've got the brackets all finished up and ready to go. It's semifinals action, it's semifinals time, and I'm just as excited as you are to call this one tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and as you can see, our matchups, as we move down the ladder here, are set. Round 3, we can close the book and move on to round 4 tomorrow. Prodigy and I3HL Antarctica, and then Kingdom facing THB in what should be 2 really fun series against some talented teams.
Yeah, exactly, Brandon. And there you have it on your stream. Prodigy against Antarctica. Polgs and Prodigy going to look to climb through Antarctica, who really gave it to a red light team. And then Kingdom, who came back. Wow. 4 unanswered goals to win that game, to win 5-4, and they're going to be going against the Helmet Boys, who have been just red hot, and that is going to be here at twitch.tv/capitals with myself, Nick F5, Penguin DeMeo, and Brandon B. Major Bigsby at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, and something that's going to be fun is obviously you have a few favorites in there with Kingdom and Prodigy, but we're seeing a couple of teams that maybe not everyone expected to get to this point. Obviously, THB, one of the more impressive teams, had to really claw their way to get to this point with a few series wins, and then I3HL Antarctica, very impressive versus Red Light in their series after going up and playing Composure and winning in that series as well. So, maybe that's a team that we haven't gotten to talk about too much today, but could maybe find a way to get themselves to that finals against a Prodigy team that, like we said, is one of the favorites.
Definitely is, Brandon. This was an amazing cast. A big thank you to everybody involved. This was an absolute blast. I love being here. I love threes. I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and like Tegan mentioned, make sure you are here, right here, twitch.tv/capitals, 1 p.m. Eastern start time for our semis, finals, and finals coverage. And that's going to do it here for today's action. Once again, a big thank you to our sponsor at McDonald's DMV, everyone at Rival Games, all the help that they have done to organize this tournament and host it. Cannot thank everybody there enough, as well as everyone behind the scenes at Caps Gaming for allowing us to be here doing what we do to present this here for you today and tomorrow. So for myself, B Major, for King Lion, Tegan Blair, and for our amazing producer behind the scenes, F5 Penguin, Nick DeMayo, this has been our first day coverage of the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge. Remember, once again, 1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, our semifinals and finals coverage of the Caps Gaming Threes Challenge here at twitch.tv/Capitals. Thank you again for watching. Please have a great night, and once again, can't wait to see you tomorrow.